And we are live. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Eberron, the Fifth Age, with the next installment in our prologue series, showing off each of our individual characters. Tonight, our player is Chris. Hello, Chris. Welcome in. And he will be playing Voka. Do you want to give like a cursory introduction? Just maybe you don't have to like explain backstory, but maybe just a cursory description of Voka, and then we'll jump in.
Voka is large man. He's very broad. He has jet black hair, shaved on sides, sort of long top like horse mane. You understand? His eyes are large and dark and with black lash. High cheekbones, strong nose, very strong jaw, strong man, very large. His voice is rich, confident, sexy. He is ready.
Voka da Voka.
Voka da Voka, either way.
All right. Okay, so we will jump in. And as we open our game, you are in the midst of a game. In fact, you find yourself in Cornerstone, in the Stone Towers, the only official Hrazhak court in Sharn. Although the game is played less in a less organized fashion by shifters like Voka in the Stoneyard and in other districts where children will leap and play this game. However, at the moment, you are in the midst of a round. Blood is pumping in your ears as you breathe hard, sprinting down the final stretch of this Hrazhak court towards your own goal. Cradled in your arm is a cylindrical wooden carving, like a baton, with etchings not very deep to keep the weight evenly distributed, but carved slightly with images of wolves and bears, the beasts of the reaches. Glancing over your shoulder, you see a runner burst from the tall grass on the edge of the field, closing in on you, cutting across this open stretch before the goal with ease. Knowing he'll be on you soon, you look ahead to see your goalie just in front of the scoring area, wrestling with a large bear-like shifter to hold on to your own team's idol while you clutch the enemy's idol in your arm. The thing is clutched in between both of their hands, and the enemy render brings his forehead down, bashing it into your goalie's face on the bridge of his nose. He snarls and pulls back on the baton, keeping the two locked in a standstill. You're almost to them now, maybe another 15 feet, but the runner is hot on your heels. You hurl the idol quickly from your hands forward, flinging it into the top corner of the net behind the struggling pair, then pivot just in time, spinning around as the runner behind you pounces, his claws extended. He misses the full tackle, but scrapes across your back with his claws as he does so, but you don't even stop to see as he skids off to the left, having missed the pounce. You don't wait to see his next move. Instead, you charge me, still heading straight for the goal. And as you're about to make impact, you turn your shoulder in and you just barrel into the both of them, pushing all three of you and the baton of your team that is clutched between them past the line and into the net of the goal behind. Cheering bursts from the stands around of the people who are watching as you stand brushing some of this loose grass off yourself. There's the trickle of blood that you can just feel coming down your back from the scratches. But you breathe deep as your teammates gather around you, and you hear the booming voice, "Great score, Captain," of Flattooth as he comes forward, clapping a huge hand on your shoulder. "And a great pass from your climber," says Frostrain, a lithe, swift stride with a light gray feline coat. "One more, and the match is ours," they say. She says as your teammates gather around you. You are currently tied up and in the final round of the game. This round will determine the victor. As captain, it is your job to pick which players you want on the field and decide an overall strategy for this final round. However, I understand that you probably are pretty dim on how Hrazhak works. So, I will explain it. The Hrazhak teams have 7 players each. There are 4 roles that these players can take. The goalie is pretty obvious. They protect the scoring zones that have nets behind them on the far ends of the court. They begin each round with the idols in their hand, and a common strategy is simply to have the goalie keep the idol, as this is essentially a game of capture the flag, where you must contain both idols and bring them both to your own goal. So you must get across the field, get the enemy's idol, not lose control of your idol. You have to get them both into your own goal, as you did in the last round. So, goalies start with the idol, and it's common that they'll hold on to it, staying as far away from the rest of the court as possible. But it's not always the case. The idol, even your own idol, can be passed and given to a climber or a runner or whatever the strategy is. And what are those things? So the other 3 roles are the renders. That is your specialty. These are the brutes, who are playing both defense and offense. They are the most physically imposing brute force role. There are the runners, who specialize in moving along the outside edges of the field. And there are the climbers, who do best in the central area. And I will explain why as I describe the field to you. So, you have a net, a goal scoring area on either far end, and in the center is a area that's been designed to replicate some of the urban region that is Sharn, where other people play Hrazhak when they're not in this one true Hrazhak court. So that center area has cobblestone flooring and 5 towers, one making 4 corners a square, and those are each about 20 feet tall. And then the one in the center is 30 feet tall. It stands above all of them. Now, running between these 2 sides along the vertical ends of this court, connecting the corner pillars, are these wooden runners that are about halfway up them, and they act as a way that you can latch onto them and get up to these spires on the corners, or you can run across them to move to the next spire over. Between all of this, there are beams running over the top and ropes hanging down with rings, and these can be leapt to from one of these spires to swing and get either to that tallest point, which is in the center, which is a common strategy for someone carrying their idol, because it is difficult to assault someone when they have the high ground, and it's hard to get up there. So if you can get up there first with your idol, you have a pretty good advantage, and it's also a fantastic position to be passive. So that's the center area. 5 towers, 2 wooden runners, and these rings that you can swing from. And then the outsides are actually made with more natural terrain, with tall grasses and even simulated like marshy, like wet areas. These terrains can be difficult, but they are relatively safe from those climbers that are prowling in the center and can pounce down on you. So the runner's specialty is interacting on the edges of the field, navigating that terrain, and moving as quickly as they can to receive passes from climbers who are interacting with each other in the center. As a render, you have the difficult choice of deciding whether you need to be more defensive, protecting your own idol, or help obtain the other idol, the enemy idol, or what you want to do. Renders can be all over the place. So,
question.
Yes.
How many renders? How many climbers? How many runners?
So a standard would be 2-2-2, and then you have your goal. But nothing holds you to that. And as captain, if you would prefer a different strategy, you can try that. So, what kind of team would you like to build?
I think we stay with standard. We do 2 runners, 2 climbers, myself as the render, of course, and another. Uh, 1 goalie. Is goalie big man? Big man.
They tend to be beast hides like yourself.
Good. Excellent. Then this is configuration we run with. This is Hrazhak. We are ready.
Sorry, I'm just going to mute this so it doesn't keep beeping. These guys blow up my phone sometimes. Come on, ready to do it. Sorry about that. Okay, standard configuration. What is your strategy? Where specifically, I think the most important things are who do you want carrying your idol? And what's your strategy to get the enemy idol? How do you want to spread people around? And you have your fellow Flattooth, your fellow render is there, and Frostrain is a climber specifically, and of course you have a full team, and they all have names.
Excellent. Names are important. But what we shall do is we'll keep goalie back with our idol to prevent. Other render also stay. Runners go outside. Climbers stay inside. I will be piercing enemy's field, taking idol, and choosing where to go from there. I probably come through middle. Be ready to receive.
No worries, Captain. I will protect the idol. It's Flattooth. And Frostrain says, I'll keep an eye on you from above.
Yes, this is good.
Okay.
Team good. Break. Ready.
Break. And they spread out, getting into their various positions. Your runners on the outside edges, preparing themselves to be open for any passing of idols. And your climbers, they're not allowed to like climb in advance, but they're ready to rush towards the center. And I take it you're placing yourself kind of in the center as well?
I am. Wherever start position closest to center and head straight to enemy goal to capture idol.
Okay, absolutely. All right. You hear there's a referee, barely. And I should have explained this. Attacking is allowed. Magic is not. I definitely should mention that.
About passive magic to make myself more intimidating.
Like what?
Oh, you know, effects with eyes and booming voice and angry presence. Maybe thunder in background.
Oh, okay, all right. I think you'd get in trouble. I think if it was just your eyes glowing or something, maybe not. But if you did something like made a sound to distract someone and make them turn around or something like that, I think you'd get in trouble for that.
Hey.
You've played for a long time. You know that it's a clean game. Literally, the only rule is don't use magic. Like, you're allowed to beat the crap out of each other. The goal is never to kill someone, and there are people ready on the sidelines to do healing. But if a player needs to get healing, they're out, at least for the round. So bringing someone's health down to that point will remove them from the game. But the goal is never to kill someone, and no magic is allowed.
Understood.
All right. So a man on the side takes his flag and he waves it he takes it kind of ritualistically into the first position, the second, the third. He tosses it up and goes, and it begins.
So I immediately charge and just let out a primal roar to let them know I am coming.
And you, as Frostrain moves forward, leaps up, soaring a good 10 feet easy, just to latch onto the side of this tower and begin climbing up as your other climber goes around to the side, getting in that slat and kind of remaining on the outside edge of it while keeping a waiting to see what the enemy team will do. And you see that the enemy team is spreading out, pretty classic formation, but the goalie, after the enemy climber rushes up, gets to the top of one of the towers, she leaps to one of these rings in the center, and instead of swinging off, she actually balances herself, her feline form, graceful. It spins in place for a moment, and she twists to counterbalance it so she can steady herself quickly, and their goalie chucks the idol up to her, where she catches it and holds it there on the ring, kind of swinging back and forth to make sure that she has momentum in case she needs to dismount. But she just stays there, protecting their idol from a position above. What do you do?
I gesture outside to runners to kind of close in, and then I say, "This is for me. Be ready." And then I charge to her position. Whatever I need to do to ascend, what rings I need to grab, whatever I need to climb, ready to steal this idol.
So, as you rush forward, the enemy render sees you coming, and he is already positioning himself at the base of this tower on their side of the court. The tower that is closest to this ring where she is staying at the moment. And he meets you there. Are you going to try and run past him or tackle him, or?
I will barrel him down into the ground immediately, going straight for grapple and into groundwork to make him pass out. Because taking player off field, best advantage.
You can make a. Are you grappling or attacking?
I will attack this man, but I will take him.
Okay, go ahead. Make an attack roll, and you would not be using any actual weapons. I hope that's clear.
No,
I know you have natural weapons.
Very clear. I would only use strength of claw and hand. So I make fist attack at his jaw. Everything I have. 19.
Very good. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna hit. Go ahead and you have natural weapons like claws, right?
I do, but they are not out. I am not in shifted state.
Oh, okay. All right. In that case, it would be. I think an unarmed is just 1 plus your strength, correct?
Correct. It'd be 1 plus 3, but
okay.
I will roll.
Okay.
So it'd be 4 damage. Or is it? It's 3 flat. 3.
Okay, very good. And you push him back, getting a good hit in on him, and he stumbles back a little bit. You can move past him if you like at this point, but he does have the chance to react to you trying to do so.
Let him do so. I move past in order to pass him and climb above.
He'll take a shot at you. Ooh, but you're too quick for him as you spin around, and he tries to barrel forward with his shoulder, but you've sort of kind of button hooked on him, I guess, or whatever that's called. And you make it around, getting onto that tower. At this point, the defender can see you coming. She's keeping her momentum, and she swings, releases, and goes to the next tower over. You can see Frost Rain above. She's now running across that wooden slat from the tower on your side of the court, she's almost going to converge with you at the top of this tower if you keep climbing. Anything you want the rest of your players doing?
Yes, I would signal to spread out into formation where when I do catch her, if she tries to throw idol, they can intercept whichever player is meant for, while I still barrel straight at her.
Okay, they're getting ready to for an interception if there's a pass. Okay, very good. You do see. Actually, make a perception check.
Voka is very perceptive. He looks out to see things and understand what they are. 18.
Very nice. Okay, you have time as you're about to latch onto the base of that tower to try and climb up it. You get a chance to hear underneath the wooden slatting that's connecting this tower to the one behind you, and you can see the enemy runner is sprinting across. He's not paying attention to the central area, and he is reaching your side of the court. You spin your head, and you know that the other render on the enemy team is now also rushing towards your goal. The assault on your idol is going to begin soon once they make it to the end of that court. You have a little bit of an advantage because you kept your idol back, whereas they brought theirs forward. So you're going to make the first strike, but trouble's going to start over there soon. Okay, so you want to go up this tower?
I do. I want to ascend.
Absolutely.
Quickly.
Go ahead. Give me... I always hate the athletics acrobatics distinction.
It's almost always, for me, if it's choice, it's always athletics.
Okay.
If given choice.
You can use athletics to climb the spire. If you try to go on one of those rings, I'm calling that acrobatics.
It's fair. I climb, I reach out and to grab, and I lift myself 20.
Oh, dang. You're rolling like crazy over here. All right, man. You're leaping up. It's 20 feet, and with a roll like that, it's not even difficult terrain. You make it up there. You've still got 10 feet, and an action if you have one. The enemy idol and the climber is now on the other side, and that's just the one that you've been focusing on. The other climber is now making her way back. She's on your side of the court now, placing herself. The enemy team has arranged themselves, getting ready for a quick series of passes if they get your idol. Because now they have the render who's going to try and take the idol. It's going to pass to the runner. The runner's going to throw it up to the climber up there, and then she's going to book it, maybe throw it back to the other runner on her side of the court. That's what's going to happen soon, you know, from a lot of experience. Okay, you've still got a little bit of movement left. You want to try and make the swing?
I do. I want to make actual push and see if I can grapple, perhaps. How close am I?
Well, you've got a good distance, but the whole swinging thing kind of circumnavigates your 30-foot speed. So don't worry about that too much. If you make this acrobatics check to swing on the ring, you can land and be there where this climber is with the item.
Voka's not always most nimble, but he is very confident in himself. He will try.
Go.
So I will swing from ring, try to collide with individual, and see what happens. Would you like me to make an acrobatics?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Voka is not so good on this nimble part. He's very strong, but 8 for acrobatics.
It's okay. You're accomplished Hrazhak player, and this isn't the first time you've ever done something like this. Failing the check does not mean that you fall all the way to the ground or make a buffoon of yourself. It only means that on the first, as you leap and grab the ring, you're grabbing it, the motion is not quite right. Your form is wrong, and you know that you have to bring your legs up if you were to immediately bring the momentum so that you can swing forward, let go, and land. Unfortunately, you come down and you kind of just grab, and gravity pulling you down, you lose your momentum. And it's not a death sentence, but it means that while you're rocking your body back and forth to get the momentum to let go, the enemy climber is now relocating. She drops down, holding the top of the spire with the idol in her other hand, and she throws it down, making a pass. Let's see if it works, to the runner that is on her side of the court. Now, she did really poorly, which means that your own runner on that side is going to have a chance to intercept, which he does. He catches it, leaping up, kind of putting one hand on the shoulder of the enemy runner and going up. He grabs it in time. Seeing this, both climbers are now going to focus because their renders are already occupied. The enemy render that you fought before is hot on your heels, by the way. In fact, he's at the bottom, and what he does is he grabs a stone from one of the piles of rubble, of which there are several across the field, again simulating the Sharn landscape. And he takes a stone and he chucks it at you as you are there swinging. Go ahead and make a dex save. I could have him do an attack roll, but I'll let you roll instead.
The
15.
thing I said earlier about not being very nimble is very not true. I am actually quite nimble when stones are hurling at my head. Somehow I managed to know that this is happening.
You perform under pressure, except for that one.
Yes, ignore that.
Which won't count.
That was misclick. I hit spacebar one too many times.
Lucky for you, you got that natural one out of the way on a misclick.
Yes.
You are able to twist in anticipation of the stone. It hurls over you, and he anticipates where you're headed and starts moving towards the base of that. Okay, you let go after getting the momentum, and you land on the spire. The enemy climber is hanging there, having just done her throw. You haven't actually used an action yet. You could attack her if you wanted. You could, I don't know, what do you want to do?
How close am I? So, idol is now in hands of my runner.
It's below you.
Yes, she is no longer important. But how many feet up am I? 20
You're
feet?
20 feet up.
20 feet. 20 feet, not so bad. Am I within jumping distance to land on other individual racing after my own?
Yeah, you can try to make a pounce here. Yeah.
Oh, I will do that.
That's what these towers are for.
I will pounce him. I will swing, aim my body, flying tackle, 20 feet air, straight down into him, try to knock him or possibly me unconscious. Who knows?
Okay, this is an epic jump. I'm going to... How should I do this? Let's make it tough, but if you make it, you're going to get extra damage. Let's say roll an attack roll. Yeah, I'm going to give you disadvantage. I'm going to give you disadvantage because it's tough, but if you land it, you're going to deal double damage.
All right. I will prepare, and I will throw in my body, and I will do terrible on second roll, but it's not so bad. I maybe land in mud. We see.
You leap down, and you can see that your runner is making the smart play here, which is that he is now moving closer to the center because he knows that you're above. So he's actually anticipating that you're going to jump into this. So he moves to the side, and you land down. You don't pounce directly on the enemy runner that is now chasing for their own idol. But you do manage to place yourself in between that runner and yours, whose goal is to now make it to your side of the court.
I am here.
I'm going to get this. I'm going to score this for us, Captain. The runner says as he dips around the tower. Okay. Let's check in on your idol and see what's going on. The enemy render has now reached your goalie, and he is going to try and wrestle the baton from him. He does not do very well, though, as your goalie dodges to the side. At this point, it is not the runner's forte, but he can't just sit there waiting. So the runner will move up and try to attack the goalie as well. He does not have a good bonus to this, though. But he rolled a natural 20. I'm going to give the goalie a chance to pass and get the idol out of there. But he's going to do it with disadvantage because that money. No, neither roll was good. He didn't stand a chance. All right. The runner is able to, quite slickly, actually, as the render comes in at your goalie and they kind of lock together, it's at that moment that the runner kind of dips down, gets below, and just snatches from where he's trying to hold it tight in his arm. He just grabs the back end of it and is able to slide it out, and the goalie can't really do anything as he's locked down by the render right now. The runner begins to move towards, he's almost out of movement as he spent a lot closing in. He grabbed it, he's got it, and I think that's his turn. Taking it is his turn. So you have lost control of your own idol. What do you want to do next?
Well, I will run interference for my own runner who holds idol by being very close to this runner, who I will now knock prone into mud because I hate him. He's trying to take my things. So that is what I will do. I will I will sweep this man's legs down and knock him prone to ground. Our
Okay.
attempt.
Let's make a contested grapple. What is your grapple bonus?
Let us see.
I think it's just an athletics check. So you have
Just
+4,
athletics.
right?
+4.
Okay. So he'll be doing this at a +1 because this is not his specialty. He's a runner. So we'll do a contested. All right. What do you got?
I have 21.
21, very nice. He only got an 11. So you are able to grab him. If you would like, you can either hold on to him or what you said before, you want to just shove him down into the mud, make him prone.
This man's face goes into dirt.
Okay. And there's a little bit of squishing. There's kind of one of those marshy areas that's designed to kind of trip you up and make your movement slow. So the earth is soft here and he sinks into it. What are you going to do from there? He's neutralized, at least for the moment, and you know it's going to take him a minute. He's going to lose his movement, obviously, from being prone.
And I will start to move to our own location and gesture for my own runners to continue with me, especially one with idol. We're going to continue into zone, and he will stay away, but I will enter into combat to try and reclaim our own.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, you rush up and... the enemy runner, you're both basically moving towards each other as you're both trying to get to the opposite sides of the court. But you both used your actions, so we'll see what happens after that. And then, where is your runner right now? Your runner is now circling back through the center. Seeing that action is now going on the sides, he's actually going to try and move through the center area. He's going to... He's not going to climb. He's just going to try and push through as quick as he can. Unfortunately, the enemy team does have a climber ready to pounce, watching for such an opportunity. So she's going to take a try at him. Man, those rolls that are right in the middle are hard. I think she's going to land on. She does not wrestle the baton from him, but she does end his movement for the round, stopping him as she lands on him, knocking him down. He maintains his grip on the baton, but he kind of tumbles a bit across the court before starting to get up. Okay, it's back to you, I'll say, because I can't actually play. What am I trying to play here? 11 other characters? I can't actually do it.
They're doing things too.
They're doing things. You imagine that on the far side of the court, there is some interaction going on where these runners are positioning with each other, but their job is to cover that side of the court. So,
yes, I will immediately run down. While I was trying to close with enemy who has our idol, instead now I will shift direction and go at the one who has pounced on my own friend, and I will try and tackle her to keep him more or less safe with that.
Protect your runner? Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. You can make a grapple check once more, and again, she'll roll with a +1.
This time I do 11. She is kind of slippery.
That's okay, though, because she got a 9. So you are still able to push her off of him and clear the way for him to keep running. And
well, good. Then I would do that. So that push her back and say, gesture for him, keep moving.
And at this point, the enemy runner with your idol has taken the opportunity to toss upwards now to that same the one that was guarding their idol before, who was hanging there. She goes for the catch. Oh yeah, and she's going to successfully grab it. She's positioned pretty well, and she's going to start bolting for their goal. Now, if she gets there and has just your idol, it's not over. But once she does that, then the idol will be kind of secured with the goalie, and he'll be protecting it at that point.
At this point, I know where idol is. I just have to go get.
Mm-hmm. All right, what are you doing next?
Okay. My own runners are engaged on the other side. My own climber they're trying to intercept in any way.
Yes, Frost Rain is on the top, and she's looking to you. Basically, she could either continue to You can give her a command here. She can either continue to watch over your runner, which is now he's about to start bolting and make his way through the center court back towards your goal, or she can join you. She can kind of like leap across and join you in the assault on the enemy climber here. That's who's basically right above you at this point.
Okay, I will gesture that I intend to intercept, and she should as well. We shall
Okay.
double team climber who has our idol, and hopefully the runner has enough advantage now to keep moving.
Okay,
What
absolutely.
being pushed down to ground.
Okay, so Froststrain, seeing your command, which is just very quickly with a hand gesture, but she knows, she's going to take one of those hoops and swing, trying to land up there. Meanwhile, you're climbing up the tower?
I will ascend tower once again. Hopefully.
Okay, give me an athletics. If you make it up there, the two of you attacking together, you'll have advantage to take the baton from her.
Okay, I will do my best. I will ascend under strength and just hurling my body above 21 in trying to ascend the position.
Yeah, and your method of climbing is just feral. You are just like claws in, leap up another like 10 feet, claws back in, and these leaps are massive, and you make it to the top in a couple of seconds, and you're just behind the enemy climber, and as you pull yourself up to the top, Froststrain is landing on the other side, and she's pinned in. She looks around for someone to pass to, but her runner's on the other side, too far away. She's got a render down on your court, no luck there. She's got a render who's in the center, who's about to chuck another stone at you. Because I forgot about him. And she's trapped at the moment. Go ahead and make a grapple check to try and wrestle the baton from her with advantage. Oh yeah.
I will try to seize her from behind and punish her movement and rip the idol from her.
Ooh, actually
22.
that was the first roll, right? You've got advantage, and she actually rolled really high, so you might.
Oh, I rolled one more time.
No. Yeah, go ahead. Roll one more time.
Is not as good.
I think you're good, actually. She did roll. She rolled a 19, but I think she's not a render, so she only gets a +1 bonus to these grapple checks. So 22 versus 20. You are able to sort of tag team as Froststrain sort of sweeps her legs from underneath as you barrel into her on the top, grabbing the baton. It's in your hands. Froststrain grabs this other climber's arm, just yanks her and throws her off the top of the tower, and she plummets down.
Good. So now we have our idol, and our runner has our idol. We have their idol, our idol. We have both idols.
You do.
All right. Time to get to position. So, what is best? I asked Froststrain, what is best? Do you want to go high, or would you like to go back to ground and go low?
I will watch the heights. You go low.
You hold on to idol until I am in position. I will descend in order to move forward. Is this man going to throw a stone at me?
Yeah, probably in a second. Well, actually, he would have thrown it at you, but he sees you handing the baton off to Froststrain. At this point, I take it you're jumping down now?
I am jumping down.
You're jumping down. She's going to follow that wooden slatting to the next tower over, headed back to your side of the court. And as she balances on that not very wide walkway, it's difficult to do what she's doing, to run across this like that. He's going to chuck a stone at her to see if he can knock her down. Ooh. No. No, she does quite well. She dances past it, and it soars across. He roars and sees you, and the best he can do at this point is just try to get between you and the goal. So he's going to charge and just get in front of you. He doesn't have an action left, but passing him, he will get the reaction.
Okay, well, I will stop in front of him because I want to, when time comes, I will put his face in dirt and tell him he throw stone like child.
Okay. Are you going to taunt him? Or are you going to...
I absolutely will taunt him. I will tell him he's very weak. I've watched rock fly, and I am not impressed.
He says, getting ready. Why don't you face me yourself then?
What does it look like I am doing? I am in front of you. You are here. I am here. You will now be down there.
Enough talk. He says.
Agreed. Enough talk. I will clothesline this man directly in his teeth.
Okay, go ahead. Is that an attack? You're not trying.
Yes,
your goal isn't to grapple him. Your goal is to attack him, right?
No, this time, no more grapple. This man needs to no longer be conscious.
Do you want to shift first?
My shift is not important yet. I mean, my shift will make me bigger and more robust, but it's not really give me combat prowess.
How does it work? Does it not give you access to that natural weapon?
I think it only gives me temporary HP and 1 more AC. If I am correct.
Do shifters not all give you... Shifters
No.
don't get natural weapons?
Not all get the claws and so on.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Okay, all right, my bad. Fair enough. Okay, so you go ahead, wallop him 1. Go ahead, give me an attack roll.
I lean back and I punch it, man. I punch directly into his teeth with everything I have. I plant feet. Punch. 21.
Yeah, absolutely you're gonna hit. That's 3 damage, right? It's just a flat 3.
It's flat 3.
Okay. So he is basically he's winded as you do this, and he even and a little bit of blood comes out as you got him right in the ribs, and he looks at you enraged, but he's roughed up at this point. 1 more and he's gonna go down. He's gonna be forced to tap out at that point. But he's still up for now. You've striked him, you've spent your action, you still have movement, you can try to get past him now.
Position myself around him. I will shift to his other side so that I am in between Frost and himself, so he cannot just easily push past me.
Oh, so you're going to do that rotate thing so that you don't have to... Okay, all right. Yeah, okay, so you're taking the defensive strategy here. You don't turn your back to him, you just kind of circle around him and force him to be in the rough situation.
Yes, I maintain combat stance, keep my center of balance, ready to respond to him, but I do not move out of range.
Good call. And... at this point, you can see Frostrain is moved up. She's on top of the tower on your end of the court now. She's looking down at the runner who you knocked down before is now up, and he's circling. He's trying to get in position. I'm trying to think. Where's the other idol right now? Help me out.
Other idol was in our hands.
You have possession of both idols.
This is the one that they took from us. Is in her hand.
Yes,
because they threw. Now, other runner was running away with their idol still.
Your runner has their idol and has already moved up. At this point, he is in your end zone. All right, I'm going to give him 1 test against an enemy render, and if he passes that, then he's going to hand off their idol. He's going to hand off one of the idols. It doesn't really matter which one is which anyways at this point. It really doesn't matter because you need both to win. So yours, theirs, whatever. He's going to hand off one of the idols to your goalie if he succeeds this. Ooh. He did not. The render is going to stop his movement. He's going to choose to grapple him at that moment because he knows that he has another runner that can come help him take it in a minute here. So that idol is getting locked down. The other one is pretty securely in the hands of Frostrain, and she's going to go ahead and make her pass to the goalie with a nat 20. Yeah, she hurls this thing from the top, chucks it, and the goalie leaps up and secures it, puts it under his arm. He's not allowed to put it in the scoring zone until both are together, basically. So he's holding on to it at this moment. All right, you have put yourself in front of the render. He is going to he's forced to try and get to your goal now. He has to try and run past you. So he's going to do so, and you have the chance to take that attack of opportunity.
Okay. As he moves past, I will do classic. I will shift left. I will bring both hands down, back of neck.
Oh, yeah. You basically right into, I don't know, the nerve that gets... What is that nerve that gets pinched if your shoulder blades come together? You come down right on that thing. Go ahead, give me an attack roll.
I do not know name of nerve, but I understand it's hard to retain consciousness.
It hurts.
I do 19. Both hands down, slam.
Yeah, absolutely. And this guy was, as far as his constitution, he was on his last legs. So this is enough that you hear a little bit of a crunch as you come down, and he and staggers a little bit, makes it a couple more steps before kind of kneeling on one leg, and he puts his hand up to rest on the tower there that he was trying to enter into the end zone of the field. And he looks up at you as you begin making your way, presumably, towards the goal, and he's too winded, and he looks at you, he gives you a look of spite, and then you can just hear him you see him put his hand up and just call out, "Medic!"
Hands stronger than tiny rock.
And he is beat. All right, you make your way forward. You have one idol secured by your goalie, one being contested right now. The runner has now met with where your own runner is being pinned down by the enemy render, and he's going to make an attempt to steal it. He's got a 15. He's going to take it. He grabs the idol, and this is his chance to Hail Mary. He wants to get it back on the other side of the court. However, you have positioned yourself now. If passing that spire, as he's throwing high, this is your chance to intercept. You can leap up that spire, jump out, and catch it midair as he's doing this long pass high.
This is something I am known to do. I will totally do this.
You will try.
This is nothing. I will make this attempt, and I will make it look good.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and give me. Well, I'll let you do athletics for this. As you launch yourself, you see that it's going high, and he'll do a. I don't know. He'll do a throw, which I guess it should really be an attack roll.
Do his throw. I do athletics. I run at post. I leap off post. I fly through the air. Maybe I catch. Maybe I do not. 14.
14. Luckily for you, he rolled a natural 5.
Sorry, man. What is this team in the throwing of the stones and the idols so poorly?
The luck has not been with them, and while they were fierce competitors leading to this tied final round, you leap up, you grab the idol, and land down now on the outside edge on your side of the court. It's not looking good for them, and the only recourse they have at this point is to send everything at you that they got. So you're gonna barrel towards the goal at this point.
Of course, I barrel towards goal and maybe think about passing to goalie if it seems easy.
He's ready, and so is Frostrain at this point. As more of a defensive, it's a lateral move. You can, if you see them coming in, you can choose to try and throw it up to her, and she can try to pass it to the goalie at that point, if you like, or you can try to brute through. And at this point, that render is coming at you. He's the last thing standing between you and the goal.
Then I will make him not stand between me and goal. He will stand face down in dirt.
He will indeed. All right, go ahead and give me, I'll say, the grapple, the athletics check contested here rather than an attack, as your goal is more to just push through him.
I get very tired. 10, but I attempt this.
He locks with you. He meets you with a 14. Your stuck in place at this point. He has come in at your waist. He's lifted you up a little bit. You're still holding on to onto the thing though. At this point, you can try to break free, or you can try and throw it. Though I think he's gonna have a good chance to intercept if you throw it at this point.
I am already too close. I will summon my inner reserves, and I will push all my strength at this man, and I will break him upon my body.
Okay.
Athletics check, I assume.
Yeah. 1,000,000 athletics. You are an athlete after all, so it does actually make sense. Okay, yeah, it's too much as you just and you break free. You stomp on his foot to distract him as you push apart his arms, and then dip low, getting underneath his grab, and then leap forward again. At this point, you're running, sprinting towards the goal. The goalie sees you, and just as a nod to you as the captain, he holds out the other baton for you to grab as you run into the goal. And you snatch it from his hand, and one in either fist, you step into the goal and turn around as the crowd is losing their shit.
Voka, very strong!
That's my captain! You hear calls shouted from above, Frostrain throwing her fist in the air. And you hear whistles, you hear the voices going crazy, and the players begin to get up. Your teammates obviously come around. It's all cheers and congratulations, and you hear calling from the crowd. You hear a chanting. Strikers, 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 of the fans in the field.
Yes, I wave to the adulating crowd because this is only my due, as is correct.
And so it is, as you have snatched victory in the Hrazhak game. So, Frostrain approaches, things calm down a little bit, and the team begins to disperse. The enemy team has walked off into the sidelines now, and the sidelines are more like the inside of the stadium, which is not huge. These risers are simple wood. This is the one real official Hrazhak court in Sharn, but Hrazhak is not the high class sport. So the funding comes mostly from people in the lower districts. And
Hrazhak made possible by people like me. Understood.
Yes,
PPS.
yes, exactly. And the enemy team has filed into the staircase. There's one on either side there's like 4 of these on either side of the goals. Down into the interior of the stadium, which has sort of a lower level below the field. And as you make your way down there as well, Frostrain walking beside you, she says, "Another good match, Captain. We make a good pair. Just don't forget to credit me when you're moving on."
I will remember your name. Do not worry. I do not remember enemy's name, though. What was team name? Pebble Throw? Something?
Yeah. They don't go by the Pebble Throwers. They are the Stoneyard 7.
Okay.
And I won't even make you do a check. You know that Stoneyard is actually your home as well, the district that is home to most of the shifters in the area. Your team name is the Strikers, if you didn't catch it, but
No, I catch name. I understood. It's kind of Presumptuous to name themselves the Stoneyard Seven, as if they're the only seven in the Stoneyard. Man, this is a place where we all are.
Well, I don't think professional athletes are known for their modesty.
Or their intelligence. Well, or in this case, their physical aptitude.
There's no shame in being beaten by the best, though, is there, Captain?
No, I suppose not.
And at this point, as you make your way into the sort of, gosh, what's the term for this? Not really the locker room, but the lower area. The what?
The rest area.
Sure, except that it's not just for you and the players. The fans are walking around here. Specifically, you see. First of all, the sort of bursar, I guess, comes up to you and hands you each a pouch of your winnings. Says, "Congratulations!" And it's he's not a shifter. He's a human employee. You've seen him before, of course. It's not your first time playing here, but he's not exactly a friend of yours. He hands you your winnings, and you open the pouch. There's 30 gold for each of you in there, and there's lots of fans here as well, many of which are lining up to meet with the bookie, as betting is a regular part of Hrazhak. And you can see this line, which is moving fairly slowly. At the top, the bookie, a wiry-looking shifter with a kind of a twitchy nose and long fingers that reach into the pouches, counting coins out. But beside him, kind of standing behind him on either end, a pair of halflings watch these proceedings quite closely. They wear leather armors and short swords at their hips as they kind of lean up against the wall, trying to look aloof, I suppose. And Frostrain steps up beside you and spits on the ground. Boromar, why do we? Tell me, Voka, why do we let these little ones push us around like this? They do nothing for the games, for the arena, but they take their cut all the same.
This is always the way of things, is it not? There's money to be had and power to be seized. So there are always people of this nature. Maybe a little more humorous that it's people so small, but always people bottom feeders.
I agree. They seem to think all the shifters are like their lizards from the plains, that we can be tamed and beaten. She spits again, with a lot of melody to the spit.
It's very fancy spit, but I don't see anyone trying to tame me at the moment.
Maybe not yet, but more and more, they are controlling everything they have, but maybe not for all. They're not the only game in town anymore.
You'll know.
Dask, my friend, Dask is taking more and more territory from them. And if you'd like, you can make, I suppose, a history check.
I will make history check. What do I know about this Dask?
Dask with a D.
Dask. Ask.
17's pretty good.
What do I?
You know that this is a rival criminal organization, and I'll give you some Boromar knowledge as well, just for the general subject of crime in Sharn. Boromar clan, they're called, is a halfling family, originally from the Polenta Plains, and they have been in Sharn for a very long time. They are incredibly well established, including having one of their own family line, Boromar, on the city council. And they have been unchallenged in the management of smuggling, gambling, and the like in the city for a very long time, until recently. Dask has become a growing presence in the city, specifically in the lowest wards. In general, the lower wards are the places with more crime, but Boromar has become integrated even into the high society, having a seat on the council, right? Whereas Dask is a collection of mostly goblinoids, but also some of the monstrous creatures from Groab, the country to the west. And Dask has become has more and more openly challenged Boromar in the last few years, and people are starting to doubt whether the clan is untouchable anymore.
As far as our interests go, do you think Dask represents us better? Do you think things will change, or be more lucrative, or more, how you say, better for us?
I know that Das is not so quibbling in who it takes on. If they will have a Medusa, I think they would have a shifter. In fact, I know that they do have some. They are a collection aiming towards unity. Boromar is exclusionary, exploitative, and I am sick of it.
This is probably true, but they have voices in high places, and their pockets are probably pretty deep. But what are you trying to get at? What are you trying to say to me?
Maybe we can reach into some of those deep pockets. Voka, I need your help. And at this point, she kind of waves you and signals as she takes you to a little bit more of a... It's not really private, but she pulls you out of the area where people are focused and people are passing by. Most are too concerned with collecting their winnings or congratulating the players, congratulating each other and the like. And you sort of step off to the side a little bit. And as you do so, a few wave to you and a couple call, great game, Voka.
I say, yes, this is true. Okay, of course.
There's some recognition, of course, but she leads you off.
Too. It's all good.
And takes you somewhere a tad more private as she speaks kind of low. She says, Voka, I have a job for us, but we have to move quickly.
Quickly is more your strong suit, but sure. What do you have for me?
We have to move tonight. It's not exactly a foot race.
Give me the details as I wipe the blood off me and dirt to the field.
Yeah, he does. And as you made your way, by the way, like I said, there are healers around, and they're there for the players after the match. So as you made your way, you've been tended to. But while these rens may have been closed by the magics of the druid that is kept on staff, essentially, the blood is not necessarily gone as you wipe that away.
Yes. Aside from thing on back, though, I'm actually pretty untouched, and it's very strange.
Yeah. Well, as it happens, I know a guy. We die sometimes at the King of Fire. Good spot for gambling. Well, maybe his wit is too slow and his mouth is too loud. I heard him a few days ago. He's arranging a deal, brokered by the halflings. She glances at the guards, watching the proceedings again. Now to hear him tell it, for big coin, quite a lot. So, I follow him. I see him meet with his source. I know where the goods are being kept. I say we take it for ourselves, sell it to Dask. They can protect us if necessary. Best case scenario, no one knows it's us anyways.
Okay. This is a promise, I suppose. Is it just you and me? You bring no one else in?
Why? Only complicate things. Besides, it'll be an easy job. This guy, I follow him, he's just staying in the residential district. No fancy words. He's not exactly the Bank of Kundarak.
Okay.
I will handle locks, get us inside. I just need someone in case. Keep lookout. Be muscle.
Ah. Haha! Voka is big on muscle, yes. I understand. Okay. Let me get my gear and where do you want to meet?
We cannot dally long. And this game was played already. Sundown will be upon you soon. In maybe another half an hour.
Yeah, move swiftly. I get ready. I give me 10 minutes. I got.
Okay. And what are you doing? Are you doing anything to prep? You do have stored. Presumably, you were not wearing it before, but stored in the locker room where you would keep your possessions is any armor or weapons or anything that you would not have burdening you on the fort. So you can gather your belongings if you like. Are you gonna get all like set up?
Yes, I do the full deal. I put on my armor. I prep myself. I slap my face. I put sword on back. The whole thing. I get ready and I pump myself up. I say, yes, I might hurt someone. Who knows? I move on.
Okay. And is there anything else you want to do before you head out, or somewhere you want to try and go first, or anything like that?
I do not have any interest in this. No, I do not need to drink. I am not hurt. I have 30 more gold than normal. I have jotted that down because it's very important. And I am ready to get more coin. Yes.
I can update your goal for you real quick while I'm sitting there, because I actually have your sheet open.
It's okay.
Okay, so you get your things. You get your armor back on, your chainmail, which you wear that. Do you wear that openly, or do you try and put it like underneath your clothing? Or
try not to be too flashy with chain. I wear it undercoat.
Okay.
Yes, I've the under thing underneath. The shirt or whatever, so it don't pinch and painful on nipple. I try to do that, but other than that, it's undercoat.
Okay, and Frost will meet you, and she does go frequently by Frost as shorthand, and she'll meet you kind of leaning against the outside of the locker room as you come out. She says, "You take so long. You're
it's
like little girl."
This good all time. I hear you, but I mean, come on, look at me.
What are you?
What you want?
Sharpening your claws? Filing your teeth?
Well, what do you want? I mean, I have to look scary, I mean, other than my size, which is very good, but I also have to be prepared. You bring me into this situation. I do not know what we're going into. You follow man around, maybe coin, maybe not. Let's move on.
Voka, you always look scary. Big, scary, and stupid.
But very attractive.
If you say so. She
I
smiles.
say so. I give her my best, my best smile. I say, very attractive.
Yes, okay, Captain. Save it for your fan base, eh? And she'll... Which you've had some fans. A few groupies every once in a while. And if you did your usual routine of hitting all the bars, then that's probably what you'd be getting right now. Is some fan adoration and a couple of free drinks and whatnot. Down at, what's it called? I think it's called the Tooth and Nail. Is your regular kind of punt where you go after a game. But instead, you follow Frost as she takes you out of the court, and you are again in where are you? You are in Cornerstone, I said, right? You are in Cornerstone.
Yes. Because they were the Cornerstone 7, and that offended me.
They were the Stoneyard 7.
Stoneyard 7. That offends me because many people in Stoneyard. Why only 7?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like we are the best. Maybe not we're the only 7, but we are 1 through 7. Everyone else is 8 and below. I think that's ideal.
Very interesting. I mean, they might need to rethink their name now. I think people have passed them in number.
Well, we could try to overtake them, but I think we just confused everyone. There's some merchandise for the strikers already. T-shirts, ball caps, all that,
Yes, that's where the real money is made, in merchandise.
And guess who's taking the lion's share of that too? It's not the lions. Now it's freaking halflings. But anyways, she leads you out of the arena there in Cornerstone, and you know that you are in what is called, this is Tavik's Landing, and Tavik's Landing is on the kind of southeast side of Sharn. I can send you maps if you'd like them. I need to make them handouts in Roll20 so everybody can look at them.
Sure. In the future, you just describe for now. It's fine.
Cool. So you are basically in the north side of Tavik's Landing, and she is taking you not very far. In fact, she says as she walks, "We're quite fortunate, you know. I didn't mean to spring this on you, but this guy is just staying in Greywall. It's right next door. It's the district. You actually don't even have to change wards, as in wards is lower, middle, upper. Right now you're in middle Tavik's Landing, so you're kind of like, I don't know. You're quite high up. And navigation in Sharn is a complicated affair. Odd networks of passing through one tower and being indoor for a second, but just to get to another narrow bridge that leads upwards into another tower, and then taking stairs down, and then opening into a plateau, a landing of sorts where there might be a few stores and whatnot, and then yet again taking a lift and going down, and it's always a complicated affair to get anywhere in this city that has just grown unchecked for way too long, for like thousands of years. At this point, Sharn has just been built over and over on top of the old cities that were here before, and it's just a labyrinth. Luckily, you're not going far. You're actually just traveling to Greywall, which is just south of Cornerstone, and you can give me a history check about Greywall.
Yes, Greywall. I understand. 12.
12. You have common knowledge, especially because you've probably passed through, you've probably walked through Greywall once or twice, as it is close to the court here. And you know that Greywall is home to many Carnathi immigrants, Carnath being the nation to the east. You know that there's certainly no ban on Carnathi in the rest of the city or anything. In fact, Sharn is a melting pot of a place. But this is the district that is most culturally associated with Carnath. If you wanted to try Eastern foods or drink, or perhaps it could be a good place to find, you know what, your 12 isn't good. Here's where you can find Eastern culture. Carnathi culture.
Okay. We move to this place. It's mostly Carnath people. You know, the undead. Just be careful as we move.
That stuff is not so common here in the city.
You'll never know.
True. I don't think it's accepted here. But you never know what people are hiding in their homes, I suppose.
Oh, I could tell you stories. Oh, never mind. It's too complicated.
Oh?
Oh, no.
Voka, you have a habit of this. If you're not going to tell a story, don't start to tell the story. You know, you get someone anticipating, and as you guys start to argue, the sun is starting to go down. Night is just about to fall. It's a twilight. Or at least it would be if you were in the upper ward. In the middle or lower wards, the towers stretch so far above that the sun does not need to be fully set for it to essentially reach nighttime. Night comes quite early in the middle and lower wards of Sharn. And so, perhaps a little ahead of schedule, it has darkened. And as you two are bickering for a moment, you're about to turn a corner when Frostrain sticks her arms out and stops you from turning. You just before she kind of pushes you back a little bit, you can see up ahead in the walkway that you were about to turn down, three men walking up. They're not looking at you necessarily, but one of them carries a torch ahead, and they are dressed in white. I think tabards is the right term. Tabards with cuirasses, breastplates rather, on their chest, bows, looking like a full iron with silver inlays across the edges of this bow that they all three of them have on their backs, short swords at their hips, and on that breastplate, the symbol that you know and are not exactly fond of the silver flame. One leads in front with a torch, and Frostrain sort of and hisses a little as she pushes you back and folds up against the wall and peeks back at them.
I see all this. I take it. Turn to Frost and I say, "What is this? What are they doing here?"
I don't know. Wasn't exactly expecting Templars. They're certainly not here for us. No one's here for us. No one even knows what we're here to do yet. Well, except for my contact, of course. But they certainly aren't a Templar. Let's just wait for them to pass. As she sort of backs up a little bit and kind of fades into the shadows.
So we'll move back into shadows and sort of, scrunch up a little bit, make myself less overly large somehow.
And you can hear, it takes a while, but eventually you can hear the boots on stone coming up, and you can hear them talking amongst themselves a little bit. One of them tells the other two, "That's enough. Go ahead, check that one," he says, pointing at one of the doors. And one of them goes up and starts banging on the door. Says, "Hello there, wait for the Inquisition." And you hear a voice call back after a moment as he continues to bang. He goes, "What do you want?" He goes, "Just to talk for a moment." He says, "It's almost the middle of the night. What are you doing?" "I'm sorry to bother you, but we really do need to speak with those in the district." And a man comes to the door groggily. Frostrain is getting impatient. You hear kind of tisking, these Templars will take all day. And you hear the questioning go on quite vaguely. "So, what is this about?" says the man as he opens the door. He says, "Look, we're sorry to disturb you, but we're searching for someone. Have you seen anything strange in the area lately? Any new appearances, faces?" And the man kind of looks them up and down and says, "I've seen new faces. Yes, I see new faces every day. It's a whole city. What are you looking for?" A man, Carnathy, we have reason to believe he would come here. "Oh, a Carnathy man. Well, why didn't you say so?" "Yeah, I've seen several of those today. Maybe 100, 200 or so. Look, if this is all you've got, then why don't you piss off?" And they don't press it too hard. They say, "Okay, sir, we're sorry to disturb you, but if you find anything, please let us know. This is a matter of utmost importance." Go ahead.
How far away are they?
At this point, you can hear this pretty well as they are kind of banging on one of these doors that's on the opposite side of the street, but just around the corner. So just maybe 20 feet, I think.
20 feet, okay, understood. It's, these people, they take very long. I already do not like them, and honestly, I hide from these people anyway. But, nevertheless, they're not moving along, so I will make effort to interest them more in this man. So
okay.
I would like to make sound behind this man inside dwelling. Make it appear as if coming from dwelling. Make loud boom inside as clatter, and then a voice say, "Oh shit!" and then and then hear running footsteps in behind. I do this all
Okay.
the time. All right, so and then let's see how that plays out.
That was quite a lot. Go ahead, put thaumaturgy in the chat for me if you don't mind.
Okay.
that was a very intricate series of sounds you described there.
I can do up to 3 things, and I said up to 3 things, so I do all these things.
Within range, you asked me the range. It's within 30 feet. Yeah. All right. Yeah, totally. Multiple times you have up to 3. Yep. All right. Yeah, no problem, man. There's the booming, the sort of crash and clatter of sound, and oh shit, and now the oh shit suspiciously has perhaps suspiciously has your Evan Reach's voice. Oh shit, and then the sound of feet padding as they try to weigh, but immediately this is enough for the Templars to latch on to and say, "Sir, what was that?" And he goes, "I don't know. What was that?" He says, looking back. He says, "Are you hiding something? Do you have visitors, sir?" He says, "No, there's no one. It's just me and the missus. I don't know what's... Look, I gotta go check on this." And they say, "Yeah, why don't we come inside and check on it too?" And at this point, the man is torn, and he's like, "Hey, I didn't say you could come inside," but at this point they ignore him and they push through. One of them draws their short sword as they do so, and you can hear the man protesting. But at this point, the Templars have stepped inside. One stays outside, but he's currently he's pulled his bow out and he's not watching the street, although he should be. That's his job. Instead, he's peering through the door, looking into the hallway, watching his compatriots make their way in.
Okay, should be fine for us to go through now. Let's move on while this plays out.
And Frost says, "Good one. Although you should work on, I don't know, disguising your voice a little bit."
Oh yes, I didn't think about that. I should have been like, "Oh no, oh shit."
"Oh shit! Oh no! It's my skeleton warrior has attacked me." Like that.
Inquisition. I don't know.
Yes, well, I'm no fan of the flame either. As you make your way, slinking for a moment, and she takes you to the next, past that, and you continue further into the district. Until, eventually, you arrive, and to you, you're just following her lead, and eventually she says, "Okay, this is the place." And you look around, you look at the spire that she's pointing at, and it's incredibly nondescript. It's gray stone. It's very plain. This is an okay district. You're in middle Tavok's Landing. You're neither in a super poor area nor a super wealthy area. You're very much in the middle, probably like lower middle class kind of area. And many of the buildings here do not have much flair. Some proudly display Carnappy banners, and during the day there can be boisterous activity in this district, flavored especially on certain holidays that are observed in the East. But this building is pretty plain. It's pretty nondescript, and you can see... Oh, actually, you can see a doorway leads inside at the base of this tower. And as you walk up to it, Frost kind of grabs you, and she pulls you to the side, says, "We could take that way if you want, but probably locked. I can get through them, but we might be seen. Or," and she points up, and there is a balcony about two stories up, jutting out. "That is the room we want, I'm sure of it. However," and she looks down, and this balcony is kind of away and towards the back of this curved spire, and it hangs over a very large, long, open drop down into the city. What do you think, Captain?
Obviously, you want to take your specialty and go high. Can see this being a smart choice, but I am not as good in the climbing as you. I mean, I do okay. But what do you think? You think this is possible for me?
Captain, you've been playing Hrazhak for long enough. Don't you ever wonder how I leap over 15 feet high?
I do wonder this.
And there is trick, then. Many know it. Best Hrazhak players know it.
I am best Hrazhak player.
Yes, because I'm always watching over you.
Okay, you teach.
You must use the manifest energy of Sharn. You know?
I confess, I do not.
You can try rolling an Arcana check if you'd like, or you can just decide you don't know.
Shit. I mean, yes, I will. No, I do not know.
No, you don't know. You don't know much, but you're not in the dark about this because it's part of the. And when she says manifest zone, you've heard of this before. You know that there are zones around Eberron where the planes grow close and the effects of the planes can be felt. And she will go on as she explains. Sharn, you see all these towers. They're so tall. Doesn't even make sense. Where do they connect? Where is the base? How do they stay up? It's all possible because of Serania. Serania, the realm of air. Its energy bleeds into Sharn, across the plane to Ever. In Serania, at least according to legends, any can fly with Myriathon. And so, magics make the air thin, easily traversable. If you know how to focus your mind and put yourself in touch with those energies. That is how I leap. So high.
Okay, I see. I see. Do I see? No, I do not see. But I will try this.
I will show you. And she gets down low and, like, pretty much on all fours, which is not the craziest thing. It's something that shifters do sometimes. They do Slav squatting. Why did you have to pick this voice? And then I had to decide that all shifters talk like this. She's Slav squatting, kind of gets in that kind of like frog position almost, and leaps. She soars, almost definitely unnaturally, and she doesn't quite go the full some 25 feet up to this balcony, but she makes it like 15, 20 feet into the air, and then just sort of almost doesn't even grab on, sort of just like pushes off of the side of the spire to grab onto the bottom of that balcony, and then pull herself up and mantle over this railing. And she calls down, trying to be quiet now. She says, "See, Captain, it's not just about athleticism. It's a use of your will."
Okay, I understand. I will make attempt at this, but if I fail, you at least have rope.
If you fail, do not fail.
This is not try, do not try. I do not understand. Anyway, we move on. I will make attempt at this. I will get in mind state. I will try and channel this jump. I will Slav squat down and inner fury jump.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Give me a... Is there a better skill? Give me a wisdom check. What skills do you have proficiency in? And then just from that, I'll decide whether you can have proficiency in this.
I have Arcana, Athletics, Insight, Intimidation.
You're proficient in Arcana?
I am proficient in
Okay.
Arcana.
Go ahead. Give me a wisdom check and add your proficiency bonus. This is Arcana Wisdom, basically.
Arcana Wisdom. Okay. Wisdom check. Flat wisdom check with +1. Oh shit, I roll 7.
That's okay. That was just you trying to reach and grasp the idea that she was saying and trying to feel that energy she was describing of Sirania. You haven't even jumped yet, but now you can jump.
Let's try to jump. I try to imitate the way she jumped, squat down, leap up, hopefully. I do thing. Athletics.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you do acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Okay, I jump very strangely. Very hop, skip. Oh shit! I rolled very high. I rolled
That's
17.
good. That's good. Yeah, absolutely. So you try to do what she did and like kind of soar, but you have a little bit of doubt in the back of your head, and you don't really believe that it's gonna work. So.
Light as feather. I am heavy man.
Yeah. Your brain internally is kind of going like, oh fuck. As you leap over this open space, and you carefully position yourself in the event that you can't make it the whole way. And it's a good thing you did. But you are able to successfully grab onto the side of that spire, as you have done before in your games of Hrazhak. And there is a very kind of moment. I mean, you're a brave guy, and you've done a lot of rock climbing, but it's been a long time since you looked down and saw several hundred feet fall below you. That hasn't happened in a long time.
Oh shit! This is very stupid. I jump. I wear fucking armor. I have sword. I got all gear, and I try to make. This is not what I do.
Quit your whining, Captain. You'll be fine. And she extends her hand out to you as you begin to climb your way along the side, and eventually she grabs it and pulls you up onto the balcony.
Okay, now that I am up on balcony, I say to you, you do understand, I am not the quietest of people. I make lots of noise. I am here because you need muscle, not because I am very sneaky.
It's okay. I made sure. Right now, the man he's meeting with that loudmouth I told you about, he will not be at his apartment. And I assume at least he does not carry all of his goods at once. And she'll say, all right, let me go in first. However, at this point, before you go inside, I think we're ready to go ahead and take our first break. Yeah, it's about time. So I'll go ahead and throw us on the BRB screen, put on some music, and we can take... I'm not in a rush. What would you like? Maybe like 10 minutes or...
Sure, whatever works for you, man. Like I'm perfectly fine either way.
All right, 5 to 10.
I'll be here.
All right. Okay, we are back. So, Frostrain, your old Hrazhak partner and friend, has roped you, Voka, into an impromptu heist. A little B&E, sort of, little burglar caper. And led into the Grey Wall district, you have made your way onto the balcony of this spire. And Frost, at this point, does get low and kind of whispers, I know you're kind of clunky, but let's not do anything too crazy in here, okay? Like I said, he shouldn't be here, but no need to alert the neighbors or anything. As she kind of steps forward, cautiously entering in. The room is somewhat bare bones. It is dimly lit with a lantern in the corner, which is giving off a bluish light. It's low, and there's a flame on the inside that flickers a little bit. It has the qualities of a candle or a torch or something like that, but it is not a natural like a white light. It is a bluish, and it casts a bit of a mood lighting, I suppose, across the room. There is a bed. It's incredibly humble. Even from a glance, you can see that the blankets across it are not of the highest quality. There is a doorway that you can see, the main entrance at the end of the room. Bookcase, mostly empty. A couple of things on it. And a desk. There's a bit of a dustiness to the place. And there is a table there with a few things on it. However, nothing is jumping out at you as this doesn't look like a very wealthy apartment.
Try to be very quiet in what I say, but where is coin?
Where is coin? We're not here for coin. We're here for goods. We trade for coin once we bring to contact.
Okay, I misunderstood. I'm here with you anyway. It seems kind of silly, but where is goods?
I don't know. He must have taken some kind of precautions. Well, as would anyone with a brain. Well, help me out. Look around a little bit.
My own ability to search is good, but not so great. But perhaps with a little assistance, I can make you better. Please come here for a moment. Come here.
What is this? And she steps up.
I lay my hand upon her and I say, "This will make you better."
And you give her a guidance. Okay. All right. And she'll take that guidance and make an investigation check, adding... I'll let you roll the d4. Go ahead, roll a d4 for the guidance.
4.
Oh, yeah. And she rolled a natural 19. It doesn't even matter what her bonus is. We're well over 20. She sort of, she starts with the bookcase and kind of looks at some of them. This stuff, I don't even know, probably left by whoever was here before. It's all covered in dust. And she kind of tosses this book back onto the shelf, kind of lightly. She goes over to the desk and begins to feel around a little bit, looking. There's some papers there. She takes a glance at them. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Some kind of drawings, sketches, blueprints, maybe. I don't know. And she'll kind of shuffle through them a little bit, toss them. She pulls open a drawer. The first one's empty. She looks under the next one. There's a layer of dust and some standard printing of the sovereigns. You know. The King James Guide to the Sovereigns.
The Gideon Sovereigns.
Yeah. And she makes her way to the door, and as you're kind of following behind her, looking at the things that she points out, she says, "Oh, hold on now. Wait. Well, good thing we came through a balcony, eh? Look here." And she points down, and you almost don't see what she's talking about at first until you kind of squint a little, and comes into focus an incredibly thin wire that runs across the doorway would have easily been snapped as the door opened, and you can see these wires lead to either end of the walls, and there's no mechanical device that seems to be a triggering mechanism, but instead there are runes written on the walls on either side where this string is mounted. Not sure what that would do, but I'm sure it'd be a nasty surprise. Good thing we came.
Yes, good thing we make very ridiculous jump. But yes, we accomplished feats, so I guess it's a good thing.
Fate favors the bold, the Voka.
I did not look so bold as I flew through the air.
And she begins to kind of spin around. She said, "There's got to be something else. This is too plain and too small. Yeah, cheap apartment, but not this cheap."
Yes, there must be something else.
Mm.
Effort to protect nothing makes no sense.
Those sketches in these runes, clearly a wizard. You can never be too careful when there's magics around. And she begins to follow the walls with her hands. She says, yes, here we are. And to you, all you can see is her touching the wall. Just come here, Voka, feel this.
Okay, I hear this many times, but yes.
Don't be so cruel. As she steps aside and points to the wall, and you run your hands along it, and it feels like basic stone until your finger sort of hits a ridge that isn't there, that you can't see, and you follow it down and then reach in and feel the knob. And there is a doorway that is hidden here, covered in illusion to create the semblance of the wall just continuing here. Well, if illusion is here, something must be holding in place. She kind of spins around. There can't be that much. And she checks the drawers again, pulls one out completely, and looks at it, turns it over, and on the bottom, taped to this lower drawer, attached to this lower drawer, is a device. It looks like a small crystal with some metal wiring wrapped around it, and it has a faint glow to it. And she just takes it and she goes, "There we go." Simple arcane kind of battery helps keep something like this active. And she tosses it on the ground, stomps on it, and the illusion fades, and the doorway is there.
Door. Okay. Now we go somewhere.
Well, would you like to do the honors?
Oh, I see where this is going. Okay, I do. I ready my shield just in case, and I'll bring it in front of me, and I say, "Okay, door open."
Wait, you're telling her to open the door, or?
No. I open door, but I'm sort of ready. Just in case, blow up in face.
Okay, and you grab the door slowly. You touch it.
I do. I make the movement. I open door.
Good, and the door opens.
Oh, see, very. This is scary. This is why you bring me. You don't want to open doors.
And as you turn around to make this comment, as you swing the door wide, she looks at you with a smile, and then back over your shoulder, and her eyes widen a little bit, and she goes, "Voka!" And you turn and look, and you see, waiting on the other end of this door, its head somewhat downturned, a large figure. The flesh is desiccated, sunken to cling to the cheekbones, except for where there is a gap missing here, and you can see the jaw below. It wears old scraps of armor that do not leather straps that go across it that do not cover fully enough conceal the exposed rib cage and dry flesh. There is not the smell of rotting as this corpse has been preserved, but as the door swings wide, it raises its head and looks at you as its eyes, dormant at first, begin to glow with a faint light as it steps forward and reaches to the hilt at its hip. And at that point, you can roll initiative, sir.
Ah, what did I tell you about Karnath and fucking undead?
Yes, you're very clever, Voka. Let me make notes. What'd you get?
19.
19. That's good. And it means that you will have the first reaction. Okay, this thing is drawing its blade, which looks, unlike its armor, well maintained. What do you do?
Oh, good God. Let's see. I have the first action, so I will go ahead and I will touch myself and start concentrating. Because I do not like to deal with undead, and I would like to protect myself from these sort of things.
Okay, and you are, good call, casting protection from evil and good. Until the spell ends, one willing creature is protected, including from undead. Grids several benefits. Creatures of those type have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. And you also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. Okay. Very good.
Then I just ready my shield, and I am ready to see what this thing is going to try to do. And I say, maybe you try to I don't know, what range attack it, throw a rock or something. Be ready.
Okay.
I say all this within 6 seconds. It's whatever.
That's a reasonable 6-second comment. And this thing draws that blade, readying itself, and you can see that it has a shield of its own, as the first thing it does is try to bash forward with its shield at you, which he now has to do at disadvantage. For a total of 13 to hit you.
This is not enough. The target number for you is 18, of course.
18. Okay. He whiffs pretty hard. He is not the most nimble, although he acts with speed more than you would expect from a corpse.
This is unfortunate.
As he tries to step forward, you are able to meet him, turning his own bash away and deflecting his momentum as he attempts once more now to bring the longsword down on you. Ooh, that's pretty good. Ooh, okay, he's got you this time. He actually got a 21.
21. This is no good. I do not like to be hit by many things, and if I do get hit, then I might have to think about holding spells, so I will not do that. I will instead render a magical shield in front of me so that I don't take no damage.
You son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. as he brings the sword down, you wait, do you have a shield and a...
I have a shield and a shield spell, so...
Okay. We'll never mind. You cast the shield, and what does it look like as the blade is coming down and it's about to connect with you? How does your spell manifest?
It manifests as like green barrier in front of me. It just appears where I'm about to be struck, and it immediately absorbs the entire impact.
and the blade stops just a few inches before it can make contact. And the creature, no reaction on its face, quickly pulls the sword back as if dislodging it from a wall or something. There's just a slight amount of resistance as he pulls it through that green energy, and takes a step back, I think. The area behind him, which you can see now, is not very large. It's little more than a walk-in closet, 10 feet deep at the most. Make a perception check.
Sure. Let's see. I am very perceptive in this moment. Sure. 17.
Very nice. Glancing past him in this moment, as you've held him off, for now, you can see that there is a chest at the back of that room that this thing appears to have been guarding. Okay, that is its turn.
There is goods.
Goods. Frost, ducking down, backing herself up out of sight of the creature. She will duck down, preparing herself excellently, and she will turn the corner with her light crossbow. I should have thought about what equipment Frost has. A light crossbow. She will come around and take a shot at this thing, and she will do so with advantage, giving her a total of, I think, 18. Yes, that will do. And she will yoink with a 7 plus. It's pretty good. As she hits this thing for 13 damage.
That's pretty good.
The bolt lodges itself and knocks loose. You can hear it. It goes into its chest, and you can hear it snap part of the rib cage on the inside. But the creature shows little reaction. He doesn't seem to be feeling the pain of that.
Unfortunate.
Okay, it is back to you.
Okay. So at this point, we've already been pretty loud. I mean, I think. Maybe get a little more loud. I do not know. But I will pull my own blade. And brandishing my own blade, I will attempt to stab him and maybe encase it in some sort of energy whilst I do so. This did not roll very well for some reason. Oh, I must make attack first. Yes, this makes sense. Okay.
Why did it do 2 different thunder damages?
It does one for, I have no idea.
Okay.
No, I know. It rolled the second in case the creature moves. It then takes more damage. So
yeah.
Left column and right column.
Yeah, but
so
why is 1 0? Surely there's a minimum of 1.
Well, because at this low level cantrip, the initial is 0, but at higher level it immediately takes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
it does not interpret this very well.
I got you. Unfortunately, a 14 will not do it as you swing on this creature. You have pushed it back into this hallway a little bit as it took a step back from you. So you successfully stand between it and Frost or any escape, but you have low maneuverability and low space to swing, and you are unable, as you try to slash and then realize that you can't do that, you try to redirect into a stabbing motion, but you've telegraphed too much as he swings his blade across and knocks yours to the side. You hear it bang against the wall for a moment.
This makes sense. So I stand there, still bulwark between my ally and ugly creature. I await what happens next. Past turn.
Hold your position, and it will come at you once more. With, let's see. Well, I'll roll one at a time. And it has to roll with disadvantage, right? Oh yeah, so I really did need to roll two. The first attack is not going to make it as he tries to stab forward at you, and you dance back a step. Oh boy. With another 13, that's not going to make it either. As he tries to get at you, but this arcane force is stopping him, as its arm, it almost seems like every time it comes close to you, there is this bright white repulsion that is forcing him back, that he must resist every time he comes towards you for a strike. And then Frost will take an attack as well. Well, let's do a stealth check to see if she got advantage. Yeah. So she'll get one more. Oh, but she fails anyways. Ooh, she rolled bad twice. She does not. And as the quarrel sinks into the door frame to your right, you hear a kind of hiss. Voka, I can barely see that thing.
Okay, this I will take care of.
As she kind of darts off to the side again, trying to get herself ready. And it is back to you.
Okay. So as my turn starts and I see that she did nothing, thank you. I will instead will try to lash this. I will produce this effect. Okay? And I suppose I would need to put my sword away. Yeah, this makes sense. I will stow my sword for now. Because I can. And then I will create this lash of lightning between us and try to pull it to me. DC 12 strength save.
Okay. With a natural 1.
Okay. It comes right up to me. I pull it within 5 feet and it takes 7 lightning damage.
You yank him up. It gets shocked. You can see the energy ripple out of your hands, and it's absorbed into the flesh. There is charring and a little smoking, as there's almost no moisture left in this skin anymore. It's smoking from the point of contact. He's still up though, for sure.
This is fair, but this may be better approaches. You know, zombies and undead and the like. They don't really like the swords and the stabbing. We'll still stand bulwark and pass my turn.
Okay, so he's right up next to you now. You're still standing in front of that doorway, correct?
I am.
Okay. He's got to do something. He needs to freaking hit you. Aye. All right, he'll try his second attack. Oh, come on. Well, there's not even a point. Aye. 1 out of those 4 would have hit you.
This is true. I get much quality from this spell slot, you understand.
Good choice. This thing just cannot land on you. It is being bulwarked by your arcane forces, and has very few options. Frost will take a shot as well after attempting to. Yeah, she's good on that. So she will 1. Good, she hit. Actually, she's going to miss anyways. Little bad luck on her part.
Okay.
Once more.
So far, we're doing okay.
It is your turn, friend.
Okay. Once again, not so difficult. I will yank him around with lightning once more. So DC 12 strength save. He take 1 damage if he failed.
Easy come, easy go with a natural 20 this time on his strength saving throw.
I do not feel so bad about this. I roll 1 for damage. It's no big deal.
Is lightning lure? Lightning lure isn't one of the weapon cantrips. It's its own thing.
That's booming blade is the weapon cantrip.
Gotcha.
But the lightning lure is exactly lightning. I touch you, shit happens.
Okay, he's getting frustrated and he's coming at you. Can he? No, he's had enough of this. He can't get you, and it's too hard. He will push through you, making a contested athletics check, I think, to try and get past you. With a 16. Ooh, by one.
By what? I rolled 15.
Pushes through you, and I'll consider that as an alternative for one of his attacks. But at this point, finally breaking through of this trapped situation, he will take a swing instead at Frost. Ah, come on. Without disadvantage, but with bad luck.
Not so good. It's his fluff coming off. He's not so good spot.
As you're able to sort of catch him a little bit, making his traversal through your space difficult, you push him off balance as he tries to take this strike at Frost, who dances back herself. And that is its turn. Frost can no longer hide at this point, as it's not trapped in the closet like that. Oh boy, phrasing. But she will back up a bit, using her cunning action to disengage first. She will back up and kind of get herself onto that balcony and take another shot with her crossbow. It's not going to cut it, unfortunately, with a 13 to hit.
Okay. So, my turn, I assume?
Yes.
Okay, I will step up and, seeing as it is engaging with my companion, it's pushed past me, even though I did not want that to happen, I will instead grapple and knock it prone to ground by bashing it in back with shield.
Okay. Yeah, you can, this is basically a shove, correct? Or no, a shove would push you 5. Are you sure that you can go for knocking prone? Is that like a standard thing? Because I feel like you have to have like a battle maneuver to do prone.
I have to have shield mastery too. I feel like shove can knock prone. Let me look. I will look up real quick. Shove, 5e. Shove a creature or knock it prone or push it away from it.
Okay. All right. And this is, you use the attack action and make a melee attack. So it's a normal attack, yeah.
Normal attack. I will use normal attack. Here we are. Shit. I do not do so good. 7.
Why is that unarmed? I just want to make sure you got your proper bonus for it, though.
Oh, you still get +4. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, you would have had to have had a crazy bonus to make that work. Unfortunately, this thing is quite large. It's like 6'3", and it's quite towering. So while you crash into its back and try to wrap your arms around it to pull it down, it stands quite sturdy and just kind of slowly looks over its shoulder down at you, those eyes glowing. No expression, but it acknowledges that you're trying to get at it. He needs to break your concentration. He's gonna swing at you again. Ooh, okay, come on. Yes! Oh, you're lucky he has disadvantage because that saved you from his crit. But he is hitting you with a 19.
19. This is not so good. Let me see. How many spell slots I have? Not many. One spell slot. No, 2 spell slots. Cast shield. No, it's one spell slot.
Yeah, you should be on one now.
That makes more sense. I will not cast shield again. I will take the damage.
Okay. He's going to hit you with a D8 for his longsword. For an 8 from that. However, he triggers his special ability, which I haven't gotten to do yet because he won't friggin' hit anything. Activating his own, tapping into his own martial prowess, and shoving you backwards. Well, actually, you need to make a strength saving throw.
15.
Okay, so he does not successfully shove you. However, you do take an additional point of damage from his special maneuver for a total of 9 damage, slashing damage.
It's not so good. I'm feeling that. It hurt.
He still has another attack. Oh, and I need you to make that concentration check. So the DC is just 10.
Okay.
Oh, no!
Constitution, not so good. I lose concentration.
As the spell fades and he takes a second swing at you, this time with just a normal roll. But you're lucky, as he comes in with a 14 to hit. And you're able to get that.
I would like to, just a moment. The last hit, it hurt. I did not like that. I don't appreciate that. I would like to retaliate with much thunder damage.
You have a reaction?
As this is the thing I do with my reactions.
Okay.
Wrath of Storm.
Okay, how does it work? Oh, there it is. Very nice. You can see you can use your reaction to cause a creature to make a dexterity saving throw. He fails.
9 damage.
The creature takes 2d8 lightning. Anything else? Oh, you can do it equal to your wisdom modifier. That's a lot of times. Okay, yeah, absolutely. He takes 9 lightning damage.
You hit me, I hit you. It's a thing I am known for.
And while, again, you hear the smoking and you can see some of the bones beginning to char and turn black. As the lightning passes from the blade that struck you, as it struck you, it literally arcs up the blade into its arm, and you can see some of the leathers smoldering a little bit. No signs of pain, but you can see that the form is increasingly damaged here, as just a little bit of tendrils of smoke are just kind of coming off of its charred armor and form at this point. He did not succeed with his second attempt. And I think he'll stay. No, he won't. He will close distance with Frost, which will give you an attack of opportunity.
Which I will take. I believe my sword is not out, so I must punch him in back of head or something. So I cannot do this with cantrip either. So in all fairness, I will be punching him in back of head.
Okay.
Okay, unarmed strike. Is a good punch, 23.
It is a good punch, which I think it's just a flat 3 damage we established.
3 damage.
Hey, it's not nothing.
Move past me, get punched in head.
Because you land a solid one on him. But he ignores you as he closes on Frost. Frost, who is now, unfortunately, stuck in a corner against the wall with him closed in. She, luckily, is quite nimble, ducks under him, reversing the positioning and backing up towards you as much as she can, taking disengage as her bonus action, and then firing a shot. Unfortunately, it has positioned itself so that sneak attack is not an option here, which is irrelevant because she misses again. And it is back to you.
Okay, things not go so great. So, I think about this. I produce Sphere of Fire. I throw this Sphere of Fire at the creature. You know, I go big because I've been hurt. You know, it needs to die now. It hurts me, I hurt it. So, there we go.
I take it this is, Chromatic Orb. Is this an attack roll? It does do an attack.
This is a 23.
Oh, yeah. That's going to hit, for sure.
15 fire damage.
That is a lot of fire damage. Its armor ignites. You can hear the hissing sound of what little air may have been held within the flesh, making little popping sounds as it just, the heat caused it to burst through the flesh, and you can hear little popping from underneath the armor. It is on its last legs.
Okay. Having cast spell, now no need for hand at any time. I've used all spell slots. I will now redraw my longsword and move forward, so take up position, sort of protecting Frost in front of this creature. And I will end myself there. Not end myself. I do not fall on my sword, but, you know.
Yeah, that's okay. I follow you. Okay. And then after you, it's going to get a chance once more. It is going to... It's going to charge up at you. The flames still flickering around its armor, and it's going to circle you. And while it burns, it still remains calm. You can still see those glowing blue lights. It does not react to the destruction of its form as it circles you until it is now standing on the opposite side of you. He will take a swing. That one is turned. As you can see, the ligaments are literally losing the flesh attachment, and the arm is moving slower now than before. But he has one more attempt. Come on. God dang it. With an 11 to hit you. As he whiffs, this is it's Frost's turn. Frost will at this point reach for the dagger at her belt and say, "Just slow down, you monster," as she tries to come from behind it. Come on, what's going on? I can't roll for crap. And as she comes up, it just spins back and smacks her with the broadside of its shield, just pushing her back, totally destroying the momentum of her attack. And it is your turn once more.
Okay. I step forward, I stab it in chest. I tried to do full hard stab.
Take big step, comrade.
I do not do so well, once again. Rolls not so good.
This is becoming a comedy of errors here. Where nobody's hitting anyone.
This is not good.
I gotta turn off autofocus. I'm getting tired of that.
Okay. I am hurt. I miss with sword. This is not so good. I think maybe not now time to go all out. I start taking on a bestial appearance, and I am invigorated and become somehow even larger. And Voka is already very large, but now he is much, much bigger. And I gained lots of hit points and 1 AC. So
as your AC is now 19, and you gain, I believe, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1d6, correct?
That is correct. 4 plus 1d6. So it'll be 1d6 probably be a 1. Let's see. No, 2. That's almost as bad.
That's fine. 6 temporary HP to you, sir. As he now, and I assume shifting is a bonus action.
It is. It was my bonus
action. Very nice. Okay, you good on movement?
I am good. This is where I am at.
He is taking that last attempt. I thought last turn was his last attempt, but he's coming at you again. Oh my gosh, come on. A natural 2 and another natural 2. That's actually 3 2s in a row. Frost rolled a 2 with the dagger. It's 3 2s in a row.
I do not trust your dice.
Oh, I need to start lying. I need to flub these rolls. Oh, well, that's what he gets, I guess. Man, I think he's only successfully hit you once since breaking your concentration.
In fact, I think breaking my concentration was the hit.
He didn't even hit you again since then?
No, he got his hit.
Gosh.
Broke concentration, very special. Something where I was,
I'm sad. Big sad. All right, Frost will try once more to come up behind him with something decent, at least. I think she just makes it. Yeah, she just makes it. And she comes with her dagger, scoring a 6 there, and then triggering sneak attack since you are right next to it. A total of 10 damage. Ooh. This thing is barely hanging. This thing is falling apart as she slices behind it. And she rips up and actually snaps some of the leather straps that's holding its armor together. And as she does so, and some of the straps fall, you can see that was part of what was holding its ramshackle form together. And it's not even like standing upright anymore, as the tension of that strap was kind of helping support its brittle spine and the dry bones there, as it now takes this crinkled form, but brings those eyes up to look at you once more, and it is your turn.
Okay. Knowing this and knowing that it's on its last leg, I scream at it for it to die. I was like, die! And I bring my sword overhand and try to come and bisect it from neck to stern. I do not do this well. Again, I am not having a good day.
No one is, really.
I roll an 8. An 8.
And you stab into its chest, and you just pass right between some of its ribs. You just don't find any purchase. And you pull back from the thrust, and it just looks at you. And it tries to take... Do you have anything else?
I do not have any bonuses.
It's taken its third last chance. Oh, come on. That's an 11, and its final swing. At last, at 21 to hit you.
Okay, this hits.
Okay. And he will trigger his ability once more. For, again, 9 damage, and you must make a strength saving throw.
Take this 9 damage, make the strength saving throw easily, because I am very strong.
You are very strong.
And also, I will trigger my only Wrath of Storm left. He hits me, I hit him with lightning. DC 12 dexterity.
This is just going to halve the damage, right?
Yes, this will just halve the damage. Hopefully he die anyway.
He passes. Go ahead, roll damage.
Okay. Why is it not auto-populated? Anyway, roll 2d8. Okay. Half of 13. You make judgment.
We'll round up to 7. 7 lightning damage. How do you want to do that, sir?
Oh, I wanted to pop and crackle. This is popcorn and microwave. It is suffusing its entire body with electric popping, and it dies.
And as the lightning passes through it, what straps of this leather armor that are left to it, including its shield, its buckler that it's been using, just begins to crinkle internally, just shrinking from the heat that is now building from it, inside of it, from the energy passing through it. And the straps themselves, especially around the far shoulder, what is still hanging there, just tightens and tightens until it crinkles the bones. The arm falls to the side as the connection on the shoulder is shattered, and the sword in its hand just collapses. It gets one chance. Plus the damage taken, which was 7, we just said, right? So it has a chance to make a Constitution saving throw of DC 13. And it makes a 16 on that saving throw.
Oh,
it clings on.
To life,
it clings on with nothing but its shield. But it's still, the light in its eyes is still there. I wish I hadn't said that its arm fell off before I remembered that ability.
No arm, one shield, very dead, but live. Who knows?
Its form is hunched and crinkled. The shield itself has sort of collapsed on itself a little bit as the leathers around it have crinkled up, but he still clings to it with his terrible form. But that is his turn. Frost is going to rob you of your glory, probably.
This is fine. I just want dead.
Nice. As she actually crits on it, dealing. It doesn't matter. You know what? I guess. Yeah. All right. Let's. 210 plus 6, 16 damage, which means he would have to pass 16 plus 5, 21 Constitution saving throw. No. Okay. She says enough and sweeps under it, knocks it on the ground, and takes her dagger. It begins to rise again, sort of like just writhing back and forth. She just takes her arm and pushes down on its chest, forcing it to the ground, then takes her dagger and stabs it into the forehead of the creature, shaking it back and forth until the lights fade, and at last it comes to a stop.
This was solid effort. Okay. I want to say, you brought me for muscle, but this took everything I had.
It's a good thing you are here, Voka. Monster.
Suggest we, based on the state of myself and monster and room and many noises we make during combat, take the goods and we leave very quickly.
Yes. Like best. Don't rush too much. You can never be too safe. Tricksy fucking wizards. Don't know how you got the thing in the city. As she, a hand on the wall, makes her way towards the chest. Are you hurt, Voka? I'm just out of breath myself, but
I am actually very hurt. This is no joke. I'm hurt very bad, but I can go on. Before you touch chest, once more, let me give you a little boost, and I will reach my hand out, lay it upon her, and give her more guidance.
Sure. And she'll inspect the chest as she approaches it.
But every little bit helps.
With a 12, she examines it slowly, and you can see her run her fingers along the top of it lightly. There are 2 latches on either side. It's not a particularly ornate chest, but there are latches on either side. And you see her fingers kind of flicker across them, and then she stops and kind of peers around the side. Says, you see? Never trust a tricksy wizard. No locks, you see, no keys, but this right here, she says, pointing at a seal on the side, which she pulls out a couple of tools that are specialized, not picks, not, I don't know, what else would you have at a thieves? What else would you need? Not a probe and a pick, but instead
an anchor, the pick, scraper.
A scraper, yeah.
Yes.
Instead, she pulls out a vial or 2 with a couple of different. One is liquid, one is a dust, and a paintbrush. Actually, very thin and fine head to it. She says, "You need special tools to deal with magical implements like this." And she takes a little bit of the dust and pours it into the water, stirs it with the brush until it takes on a dark green kind of coloration. She says, "There is only one way. You must actually reroute the energies within the sigil." As she very carefully goes to work upon this, she does quite well, actually, as she makes very minute adjustments, attaching one line here to the outer edge of the circle, and another here, redirecting and changing the shape very carefully. until she steps back and says, I think. Yes. And she'll put her hands on the latches, flick it open, and push the cover back. You see her wince moment. And then she exhales. And she looks inside and reaches in, pulls out a black cloth pouch. I think this must be what we came for. And she tosses it to you.
I say, da. Okay. Pouch. Look inside.
And what you see inside, you give it a little, just from feeling it, you can feel several small things inside, perhaps gems. And what do you shake them out onto your hand, or?
So, go ahead, open, check out, see what contents are.
Yeah. And as you pour them out, there are 5 crystalline shards that rest into the palm of your hand. None of them are particularly large, maybe the size of your thumb at most. But these different shards, and you look at them, they have a dark, a clouded gray opaqueness to them. And as you hold one close and look at it, you can see just faintly pulsing with just a slight amount of light. Kind of in the center of these things are little streaks of amber energy that pulse through that clouded gray opaque consistency. What's the word I'm looking for here? Whatever. They are only partially translucent as you look through them, with that faint amber pulse.
Amber waves of grain. Understood.
It's the color of your energy, man.
Whoa.
What do you have there, Voka? What do you think that is?
I do not know. I describe the shards to her and the strange effects, but do not. I examine this closely, and something arcane.
Well, no surprise there. And I'll say that you can make an Arcana check. You said you're proficient in Arcana? I am surprised.
It's just +1, but still. Okay. Apparently, I overestimate my ability on Arcana.
You're not sure. You can't identify them at the moment, unfortunately. You're confident that they are they're magical in nature, maybe perhaps reagents, perhaps foci. You're not sure, but you are sure that they are magical. Sure.
We take these. I put them back in pouch. Tuck them away and say, okay, was there anything else in chest?
A few robes. Not sure the
put
significance.
on robe and wizard hat, and we move on. Okay. No, we take the pouch, and I will examine these again later when I'm not so beat with shit. And we will escape this place before we bring down wrath of much lightning and thunder on our heads.
Yes, we should. Let us go. And she'll go back to the balcony. What do you think? Take it again, or?
Okay. Let's see. Maybe I have better luck this time. Of course, I'm jumping across and down, so maybe not trying to achieve such a crazy height this time.
Less climbing, little safer. Just tuck and roll, huh?
Yes, tuck and roll. Okay.
And remember, feel the energy. Serania will lift you high.
If only.
And if you'd like, you can make that, what did I say before? Wisdom Arcana check.
Wisdom Arcana. I make wisdom roll. This time is 15, 16 with Arcana.
Much better. And it's just a trick of sort of attuning yourself, just kind of the energies of Serania, which are in Sharn, they're always there. So sometimes they're hard to notice to someone who's been there for such a long time. You forget about them. You see all kinds of magical, you see the lifts, the sky coaches, you see all kinds of things in Sharn that you know are possible, including the towers themselves that you know are possible because of this manifest zone. But its actual effects you rarely think about. So it takes a bit of focus as you center yourself a little bit and feel that energy that is in the air, and focus and try to, it's like listening to a voice in a dull murmur and pulling it out of that soft cacophony and focusing. And as you do, you can feel the lightness of the air, and you take a leap and you soar. What is your strength score?
My strength score is 14.
So that means that normally you would be able to leap 14 feet, correct?
Forgot.
Jumping rules are a little off.
Yes, every time I have to look up because it's different. I always jump. Strength determines jump. Good word, jumping. This counts as long jump, I assume.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just equal to your strength, but
number of feet equal to 3 plus your strength modifier, minimum of 0.
Plus your strength modifier?
Yes.
Oh. So, which would be plus 2?
Plus 2.
So 5 for a long jump? Is this is that vertical? That makes way more sense for vertical than for...
I think this is high jump, but let me see. Long jump, It's not very clear. 10 feet on foot before jump.
We'll look it up. We'll look it up on the break. Don't worry about it for now. The point is that as you take this jump, you absolutely soar. And this feeling, you've had it before, and it's been easiest for you in the moment when you were playing Hrazhak and you were simply navigating the port as best as you knew. And in certain moments like that, with your focus ignoring something like a large drop below you, and instead just being single-minded, at times like that, you were able to tap into this energy. So in a way, it's a feeling that is familiar to you, but the air is light and it parts, and you leap across from the balcony down to where you were before and land alighting without problem. You feel like you might have been able to jump even farther, I think. If you move at least 10 foot when you make a stand, you make a line, you cover a number of feet up to your strength score. That's what I thought, 14. Right? Yeah. So, with the lesson that Frost has given you and your experience on the Hrazhak court, you now gain the Manifest Leap feat, which I will add actually into D&D Beyond for you at a later time. But the text is there in the chat for the moment. You have learned to make use of the Manifest Zone. You can double your jumping distance when you are in a Manifest Zone of Serania. And you can have your falling damage. And I think it's a good time for another break.
Okay, we take a break.
Yeah. We will finish up when we return. Okay. Very good.
Yes, you must also deal and live with.
Alrighty, we are back. And we are going to continue. So, your impromptu heist with Frost, a success, although you licked your wounds a little bit as she leaps behind you once more. And plants on the stone next to you. She says, okay. Well, she looks up, gauging what light there may be left, although there is pretty much none. She kind of thinks for a second. I believe we still have time. I am meeting with contact in Dath tonight. That is why we must move quick. But We cannot be stupid, cannot overplay hand here. It would be foolish to bring entire goods, only enough to prove that we have successfully gained them. So, we must stab their ass.
This makes sense. Okay. So, I take out pouch of shards, take largest shard, and place it in pocket. Rest of pouch, we stash somewhere, yeah?
Yes, somewhere. She kind of looks at you.
On me. Is my decision. Okay.
Voka.
I have place.
I have seen your apartment. We have drank there many times.
Okay. I know. You've seen safe. I understand. Yes. Okay, I place the rest of shards there. We go.
Okay. And from here, you know the way pretty well, both of you do, as you're both residents of Stoneyard. And perhaps one day you will be the Stoneyard too. But as you're leaving from this apartment, you actually notice something. Standing on the small stone staircase, back arched up on the staircase that leads to the door into that spire that you've just leapt from the balcony of, arched on its back legs and sort of wiggling its nose at you is a rat, and it looks right at you as you glance at it. And as you do, it kind of peers back and forth, then falls to its feet, kind of paces back and forth a few times. And as your eyes follow it, sort of gives a bit of a squeaking, crosses across the... Man, I really got to focus. Crosses across that little... God, what do you call that? The stoop in front of the building, hops down on the other side of the staircase and makes its way into an alley and scurries off.
Okay, strange rat. Continue on.
Hardly a rare sight in the city. I thought it was a little better in Middle Ward, but can't say first time seeing a rat. There'll be even more back at your place, I'm sure. And you guys will make your way. You are currently in Greywolf, and your destination is not in Havoc's Landing. You are where you reside in Stoneyard is in lower north edge, actually, which means that you need to cross the bridge from Havoc's to north edge. And you need to go down a level. There are many ways you can go about this, but being a resident of the city, it is not a terribly difficult affair. You do pass, you take the bridge moving back. You go down and you pass below you in Greywall. You enter into an area called Cogsgate. And this is an entry spot to the Cogs, the area below the city. And then you start moving north and passing through the district called Terminus. Terminus is the spot where perhaps a long time ago you first arrived in the city. It is where the lightning rail ends. And Sharn, being on the edge of the Dagger River, it is the final stop of the lightning rail, which then journeys north and has multiple tracks that can take you various places throughout Corvair, depending on how long you're riding. But Terminus Station, and this entire district is named for that station. You pass through there and then take a bridge leading over those lightning rails. At this time of night, there is certainly no train moving, but you follow this lengthy bridge that arcs over the rails and pass over a deep area. The rails themselves are raised. You can see that that's close. If you so chose, you could jump from this bridge and land on the rails, but you'd better make it right landing on that platform, because if you didn't, you would fall into what is known as the depths, the area that separates almost like a steep canal that is between the districts of Sharn, and it makes each district almost into a little island of itself, in and of its own right, as these massive collapsed areas where the old city used to be is below you. You cross that bridge and enter into North Market. This is a place you've been before. It is quiet. There's always traffic in Sharn, but most of the busy life of North Market is quite reserved and subdued at the moment, as it is closed. You know that this is a place that caters to shifters like yourself, as you are about to pass beyond it into Stoneyard. However, there is you do hear something as you pass through North Market. There is you hear some voices, young voices, laughing, calling, and shouting at each other a little bit in the night. And as you approach, you see a few young shifters, two of which kind of watching another who is climbing on top of this statue in the North Market just before you enter into Stoneyard. This young long-toothed shifter with the features of lupine features of a wolf, which you can tell from the almost slightly kind of mane-like look and kind of protracted, very faint idea of a snout to his face. As he climbs up on top of this statue, you can see that it is the man depicted is in priest robes, and embroidered on them in the stone, but on the robes is that symbol that you saw before on the breastplates of those Templars. The silver flame adorned it. As the other kids are jeering and cheering him on as he climbs to the top, pulls down his pants and begins pissing on the shrine. You can make a religion check. I'll say with advantage.
I know things about this. I know about stone and piss. I know all of this.
And within 18, you know that this is called Fathen's Shrine. It is a memorial to Fathen the Martyr, a priest of the Silver Flame who came to Sharn long ago during what was called I believe the Silver Crusade. And he, in Sharn, uncovered a society of were-rats that were working together. And he uncovered them and tried to oppose them, but they tore him to shreds in the streets when he did so. And this shrine was placed up in his honor. However, it is a place that pilgrims of the Silver Flame visit sometimes. However, shifters have no love of the Silver Flame, as that was a very contentious time between the church and shifters, who many ignorant associated with true lycanthropes, which shifters are not true lycanthropes. And so this shrine is not popular, and this is not first young man to take a whiz on it. And as he does so, carefree, you hear him call out, look, it's the tears of Fathen the Farter.
Funny.
And the other kids are like, come on, get down from there. You've had your fun. You're too loud.
He's, to scare a little kid, because this is also funny. I make loud farting noise emerge from statue.
Okay. Make a deception check. There is a sound, and the boy looks up quickly. He kind of looks down and he goes, "Randall, was that you?" And the boy below looks back up and says, "Don't try to blame it on me. You've got your little pecker out, and now you're farting everywhere. You're disgusting. You're incorrigible."
This is good. I keep moving.
Okay, yeah, and you move on, and they continue jeering with each other until eventually he pulls his trousers up, hops down. They scurry off on whatever other mischief they're going to get up to for the night. And you make your way to your apartment. You enter into Stoneyard proper. And this is not a wealthy district by any means. It is home to most of the shifter population, only a small percentage of which are actual transplants from the Eldeen reaches, like yourself. Now, the sort of dialect of the reaches is something that is loosely maintained by shifters as part of their culture, although many do not necessarily understand the old legends of Father Rat or Mother Wolf that you learned in the Towering Wood. But there is a cultural tie here, and this is the region where, including the market behind you, where you can find services for shifters, like people who specialize in working with fur and filing nails, cleaning canine-like teeth, and things like that. You make your way to your apartment. It is kind of crappy, and has been for a long time. You had money when you first came here after the war. You had a decent a bit of savings from your time with the blade mercs. That was enough for you to secure a place for yourself. As it is, you are one of the few here who can afford to live alone. However, the quality leaves something to be desired.
This is all I need. I mean, it's walls and mostly roof. It works.
And Frost will follow you inside. Is there any specific details of your apartment? It's your apartment, so you can tell me what it looks like inside.
Oh, this is it's stark. It's austere. You know, it's got the basic necessities. There's table, some food, I suppose, probably rotting. I'm not very clean. You know, it's a place to sleep, and hidden within the floorboards or walls, maybe something else.
And as she comes in, she says, "Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Take a short time, catch our breaths, prepare ourselves, stash the shards, and then we make our way, no?"
Okay. First thing, turn around. I put shards in chest.
Okay.
Okay, I do so. I unveil my secret chest. I place the pouch of shards other than the one I've taken, and lock it back up. And then I say, "Okay, we rest now. So, how long do we have? When must we meet?"
I told him midnight. We have some time before then. Enough for us to stay here. Maybe we can stay an hour here. The travel will be a little slow going. I've picked our meeting spots. It's difficult to reach, but away from prying eyes.
We stay 1 hour, then we leave.
Okay. You have something to drink?
Ah, water. Behold.
Uh, nothing stiffer?
I do not think so. It's not wise to leave out something stronger. People want to come take things. You look in my place now, you won't take nothing. Nothing worth taking.
Voka, who is going to steal your flagon of ale or skin of wine?
Children, they steal, they drink the wine, they piss on statue. Very, very normal.
Eesh. If you say so. Well. Food? Something? Come on, that took something out of me, and we played the game beforehand. I'm starving.
Okay. I take some food out if I have food, which I do. And we eat. I eat what we have. Some rations, I don't know. Meat, bread, I have something. Probably block of cheese. Only slightly old.
It's simple fare, and you reach into your cupboard to pull out a loaf of bread, definitely on the older side. You cut off the heel that has a little mold on it, and you pull out a little cheese. It's a little tough, but and as you reach to grab a plate, once more you see a rat right there in your apartment, kind of gazing back at you as you open the cupboard, and it kind of squeaks and hops down onto the counter and starts scurrying towards the door.
Okay, stop rat. Okay, how do I stop rat? I know. Is filthy rat, so I zap it with lightning and pull it to me.
Sure. Go ahead, make an attack roll.
I will do so. It's a DC 12 strength save.
Oh, I forgot. He has to make a save. He has a 2. Which is, I think, on brand for a rat. Honestly, he probably shouldn't have even had him. He's a rat. It's a rat. I don't know. Is it a guy? I don't know. You want to check his little the lightning lashes out like a quick whip and catches the rat. It is already, and you just hear that almost like a pop as it you pull the form to you. It is stuck.
Okay, this is normal rat. Hungry. I now have rat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's filthy. I mean, we could cook it, but
That's not what I just did.
yeah. You have to take fur off first. You have to debone. Yeah, not even worth the trouble. Not enough meat.
Okay, I throw a rat away.
Oh, little vermin like that, only good for, I don't know, stew. You have to have a couple. A rabbit, few rats. Supposed to. I've done it before. I wouldn't recommend it.
When needs must. To rest, I suppose.
And so you do. You take your rest, and you can take a short rest at this point. You can use any hit die. I believe your shifting ability returns on a short rest.
The shifting ability does. I think that might actually be it.
Yeah, you're cleric sorcerer, so you're not getting too much, but you can heal yourself up.
So I can use 2 hit die. Very boy. Let's see. I have 1d6 plus 2 and 1d. Oh, that's not so bad. 8. Then there's the other one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your hit die aren't the same size, are they?
And then 1d8 plus 2. Okay, 7. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, you're up to full, right?
I am at full.
Yeah, okay. Alrighty. And as you're kind of eating and taking your time, Frost kind of looks at you. So, if these things are worth as much as I think they are, I think we could make quite a lot of coin here. What do you think we should ask for?
I would like to know more about what we have first, of course.
I would too, but if we ask my contact, that will be telling him that we don't know what they are. And if we don't know what they are, we don't know their value. Bad idea, if you ask me. We have to at least act like we know what they are. I think they're pretty valuable, after all. The deal with the Boromars was supposed to be quite large. And Dask is much more desperate than them.
Would you guess?
Mhm.
It's hard to say. I mean, what do we want? I mean, we don't want to ask too much.
They're definitely
probably
magical. Magical things are worth quite a bit. 5 shards, 500 gold.
Seems fair. 500 gold? Okay. Am I able to take another look at the shard I hold and maybe suss out any arcanical properties? I tried earlier, but I was all beat to shit, and we were fighting undead thing. Not.
You can try again if you can explain to me what you do to test it that is different than what you did before.
Okay, I turn it in my hand, I turn it over, I think about it deeply, taste it with my tongue. Nothing very, very, very scientific about my method. I have that.
Sure. You can make. You taste it. It has a bit of an earthy flavor to it.
Gross.
And surprisingly, perhaps a warmth. It's not hot, but there is that energy pulsing within. You feel it. It is mostly it is smooth along the surfaces, but there are jagged edges. It has not been formed. This has not been cut by like a gem cutter or anything like that. You can see that these crystals seem natural, although there are make a I'll say investigation for examining something closely like this. Less perception, more investigation.
5. I suck at this.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see that it's not shaped. This has not been manufactured. This is a natural resource, for lack of a better term.
Okay, we go with 500 gold.
That is quite a lot. 250 for each of us.
Yes.
What would you do with that kind of coin?
Well, many things actually. I would probably not live as in squalor as I am now.
It's not such a bad place. Mine is basically the same. I think I would leave Sharn. At least for a while. Maybe take an airship.
Maybe. With the funds, you could do that. See something else for a little while, but I'm pretty happy where I am at the moment. I can hide myself here quite easily. Lose myself in the people.
Well, it's a good thing there's money coming in. Hrazhak season will be over soon. A long wait before it starts up again. We'll need something to keep ourselves busy.
Well, opportunities keep arising. Sometimes people pull me aside and say, "Hey, Voka, I need muscle." Ooh.
Yes. Kind of like me, eh? And maybe if these negotiations go well, maybe Dask will take us themselves, huh?
This could be true. This could be a way into more power and more say to what maybe we shape community. Who knows?
Well, Dask will have to come up a little bit before they are walking north edge openly, or just get bolder. They have been bolder. We need to hold firm when we get to the negotiations. My contact, Guldar, he will not be intimidated, I think. But my plan is to ask him for half payment up front. He does that. We give him the rest. We'll set a drop location, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Let's go then. And at this point, she's ready to go. Is there anything you need to do to prepare, or any last touches to your stash, or anything like that?
No, I just make sure it's well hidden.
How do you hide it?
It's floorboards and buried a little bit, covered in a layer of sand and dirt, but not like under a rug or anything obvious.
Okay. And you guys make your way out. She begins to lead you, and you're not sure where she's taking you at first, as she leads you sort of west, and you keep following the roads, which are well, you're on the lower platform, so at least you have the advantage of having real ground beneath you, unlike in the upper and the middle wards. One of the few luxuries that the poor get down in the lower wards is a little bit more sense of security, as you can touch the earth, which is nice in Sharn. And she keeps taking you west, and you know that you're just going to reach the end of the residential district here, and that there is nothing there. You know that there is, I don't believe, a bridge crossing to Central. So you're kind of heading towards the edge of the plateau that is North Edge.
We're heading towards the west edge of North Edge. I see. Who are we meeting with again? His name is Grendel? Guerto? Good?
Guldar, he said.
Guldar.
Mm.
You trust this Guldar?
Trust. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I've seen him before. I know that he's with Dask, and, well, I don't have many contacts. He's a big one. Bugbear. I've seen him. He's come in a few times. They have. I saw him in North Market, actually. Some of the services that are good for shifters are good for Bugbear too. No. I think maybe he was getting a little work done, sharpening his teeth. But he brooks no nonsense, and he seems like the sort who will get things done. As good a contact as any, I suppose. Though, when I told him about this deal, he seemed eager.
How could you tell? He's a bugbear.
I suppose it's in the eyebrows. Bushy. Twitching. Well, I told him we would meet him in the depths. I know a spot. I come here sometimes in the night to think. It's a long way down, and at this point you have reached the edge of the district, and you are now peering downwards below into one of these many chasms that separates the districts, the quarters rather, from each other, and it is a cliff face is not quite the right word. there is some natural plateauing, especially here in North Edge, because you are actually next to what is called actually the City of the Dead, beyond North Edge, but you are closest to the mainland of all the quarters on North Edge. The opposite end here, you can see that this is partly natural cliff face leading down, and then eventually, as it extends further and further out, far below is just a mass of ancient rubble and ruin and destroyed buildings. The details are difficult to make out from here, and it is a lengthy climb as Frost Rain guides you. She says, I have taken this path before. One of my spots, like I said. The handholds are a little treacherous. Just follow my lead, as she lowers herself carefully over the edge and begins to climb down. And it takes like 20 minutes of just climbing to reach the bottom. And it's like you're walking over just a ruined heap of old buildings, the old Sharn that Sharn has now been built on, and even that is said to have been built on a city that predated it even before. This is the compacted, compressed wreckage of an entire city that litters the bottom of the depths. And she's leading you through this rubble, kind of hopping from here to there, trying not to get caught. There are no real pathways here. And eventually she takes you to something that is jutting out, a spire. And unlike the others, while its foundations may have collapsed, perhaps some of the magic that now holds the towers of Sharn up has helped maintain most of the form of this spire that has long collapsed, and some of it juts upwards at an angle, rising, and she hops onto the base of it and signals for you. It goes up and up. It's probably 100 feet or more, at an angle going upwards. She says, "This is my spot. Very difficult to reach, and no eyes offshore. Good view of the sky, too." And this is something that you noticed going into the reaches. While looking downwards is dismal and desolate, all wreckage, a rare treat for someone who cannot afford the upper wards is what you have now. A clear view to the sky, as the reaches are not blocked with the many bridges and archways and spires unending. You can actually see the stars above, and one of the moons of Eberron, quite large in the sky, sort of dull orangish red color.
Sky is very nice, I will say that. But this was a difficult place to get to.
Well, I described it's the path to Guldar. I think he knows the way. And if he doesn't, well, I guess we'll have to find him. Let's hope he does. And you continue up, making your way along this spire. It is not too steep that it is not terribly difficult. And there are periodic places where, if you would like, you could take a handhold. There are windows intact, made of those brick kind of stone outline that forms an open window. The glass is long, but there are openings periodically that you could grab onto if you needed to. But the angle is luckily not that extreme. You just have to watch your step. not to fall into the tower itself. And as you press to the top, there is the top of it has been broken off and sort of leveled into a slight area where you can stand, maybe 10 by 10 feet. And when you get there, there are two forms waiting for you. Small, maybe 3.5 feet tall, reddish skin. Two goblins stand there. They are armored and armed, short swords at the ready, and they look at you apprehensively as you approach. Frost kind of looks at you and back to them, says, "Where is Guldar?" And the goblins kind of snicker to each other a little bit. Says, "Guldar, Guldar will be here soon."
Oh. Okay. Hopefully that is true. For your sake.
Yes, he'll be here. Don't worry. Deal will go down. I don't know why everyone has that voice now. I can't stop doing it. All the goblins do too now. Don't you worry about that shifter. He'll be here. And sure enough, just a few minutes pass, and rising, actually, from the far edge, lifting up, a bugbear appears, standing on what appears to be a tiny platform. A disc, like just a small platform of earth that comes to a point conically downwards, and it floats, actually, as he rises up from beneath the tower and hovers just on the edge of this platform where you're standing, where the goblins are. And he stands on this sort of disc and says, as he approaches, Frost calls out, says, "Guldar, you are supposed to come alone." And he says, "So were you." He says, "Well, I guess neither of us are stupid then." He looks at her, folds his arm, and says, "Save your words. Just give me the shards." Says, "I am not so foolish as that, though. I did not bring them in. Just enough to prove." I forgot that you took it. Voka, show him.
It's a shard. See, it is yet we cannot describe it in detail. You know, it has the thing, and it does the glowy, and it's the amber. You know, it's a shard.
And how am I supposed to know if it's real? Let me see.
Come on over. I give to you.
He gestures to one of the goblins who will come up and grab it from you, if you'll give it to him.
As Goblin approaches, I let manifest lightning take place in my eyes. You know, sort of fierce lightning storm happening. And I say, "Okay, little one, be careful with this." And I hand it to him.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
Oh, I am.
Go ahead, give me a check.
21.
Oh, yeah. He pauses as he reaches forward. His eyes at first are just focused on the shard that you're holding in front of him, but he looks up and makes eye contact with you, and then the flashing, and he kind of pauses for a moment and steps back for a bit before the bugbear shouts at him, "Gulindar, for Acha." And the goblin kind of shakes his head, grabs the shard, kind of looks at you, backs up a little warily, hands it to the bugbear.
His head looked much like melon. I remember one time I crushed melon. Just dig in with fingers and rip apart. Very interesting.
The goblin looks a little nervous. The bugbear is not listening to He's checking the shard. So, where are the rest of these?
Someplace. We're happy to give them to you for the right amount of enumeration.
What are you expecting?
Be happy if you would offer us something first, and if we are not pleased, we will raise the price, and perhaps we will come to an agreement. Perhaps we won't.
200, he says.
Turn to Frost and I say, he says 200. 200 for all 5? Or 200 per? What is the answer here?
So you have 5. Yes, there are 5 of them. And we will not take 200. 500 for the lot. Half right now. Then we'd establish drop point. I give you rest. Chatur, you test my patience. He looks at the shard again. Taking of these is moot. I have seen it in up front.
Okay.
Pulls out a pouch, looks inside, takes a few more coins, throws them in, and beckons to Frost. Come then, take your look. And as she steps forward, he holds the pouch out, pocketing the shard that you gave him. And she comes forward, reaches out, and just as she's about to grab it, he lets go. Instinctively, she reaches, tries to catch it, and in that moment, he grabs her wrist, yanks her, and throws her off the side of the tower. He points at you and says, Gunnar, Pacha, as he just dives downwards on his platform and disappears underneath the tower. The goblins draw their blades and look at you.
Okay.
Like a melon, you said, huh?
Yes, just like.
Try.
I will, and then I will try to approach said goblin so I can crush his head like melon.
Go ahead, make an initiative check.
Okay. 5.
A 5. Okay. Unfortunately for you, events have turned quickly, and the goblins, probably already aware of the intended treachery, dash forward, readied. One will take an attack at you with a +4. A 16 to hit you. That does not. You're 18, right?
Correct.
Friggin' ridiculous. He will disengage as he backs up. The second one will run forwards and yes. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, first one attacks you, misses, disengages, moves past you the other direction, getting behind you, and now working his way down that slanting spire. He makes his way to one of those windows, hops inside the tower. The other one gets low and takes a shot at you with a crossbow. That's a 22 to hit. What is a light crossbow? Light crossbow is D6, right? I think so. 3 plus 2, 5 damage, sir.
The D8. But
For a light crossbow?
Yep.
Oh, the heavy
Light
at 10.
crossbow is 1d8 piercing, 8320. Anyway.
He has a short bow, though. It's a d6 plus 2.
Okay, -5. Got it. 5. Okay.
And it's you.
Alright, on my turn, this goblin, hits me with crossbow. Okay, as bonus action, I go bestial. I get much bigger, gain 1 AC, and how many HPs was it?
It's 4 plus 1d6. Dum,
6.
dum, dum, dum,
So back to full
dum.
with 10 hit points. Then I take my booming blade and sheathe the blade with energy, and I try to lop the goblin's head off, or at least split it like a melon.
You have to make true on that. You gotta make good on that. Go ahead, give me an attack.
14.
14?
Yes.
He does not go down quite so easy. It is difficult swinging at a target much lower than the average enemy you've fought. And there's a need for adjustment. As you swing, the point of contact is later than you thought, and he has time to bring a shield up, dropping his bow at that point to do so. So he brings a buckler up, ducks down, and starts circling to the side. Make an insight check.
Full of insight. That mighty 1.
Oh, is that a natural 1? Oh, okay.
It is.
I don't know. You don't know.
Any problems with this?
All right.
Okay.
Anything else?
I will move slightly so that I am not in direct line of sight to both, but just move to the side so that I'm not flanked. And I am done.
Okay. And you're still within 5 feet of this goblin because you just kind of circled him a little.
Correct.
That puts you dangerously close to the edge of this platform, which is not large. Although there is plenty of space on that tower leading back, but on this platform, it's only like 10 by 10.
I am okay with this.
Okay. The goblins go. One of them will, darting back up and jump and poking his head out of not even the same window that he jumped into, a different one. He takes a shot at you with his crossbow, doing so with advantage as he comes from an angle you did not necessarily expect. Ooh, and it's a good thing he had advantage with a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Boom. And he will deal, likewise with a short bow, 5 more damage to you. And he will duck back down once more. The other will now reach for the dagger at his hip and stab at you. Unsuccessfully, as you don't even have to stop this. The blade gets caught on your chainmail, and you can feel it shift as it catches one of the rings, and the momentum is totally pushed in the wrong direction, pushing across your side as the chains do their job. That is. I don't think he has many good options for you. So he is locked with you with his dagger. He's just kind of darting back and forth. It is your turn.
Okay, this time, like a melon, I promise. And I swing again with the longsword for 11. Terrible time.
Once more, he is nimble now, and after dropping his bow, his eyes are just trained on yours, moving back and forth. He says, You would bring me much richer when I take your head back to the chief. As he darts between your feet. All right. Anything else?
I have nothing.
Okay. He will take a not very good stab. Again, comedy of errors. Meanwhile, other goblin behind you, who has more strategic approach. This time, what is... Oh, yeah, actually, he made it. So he will pop once more out of one of these windows, and because he keeps darting in and out, you cannot keep track of where he will appear, granting him advantage. But it's still not enough with a 14 to hit you. As the bolt, you're able to react just in time as the arrow bolt that keeps switching. As the arrow is loosed towards you, you sort of fling your arm back and get your shield in the way, kind of bashing it as it's about to make contact. And it rattles, clink, clatters, and is lost down below, falling towards the reaches.
Okay.
The reaches, why did I say reaches? The depths.
The depths. Okay. So this time, my turn comes around. I will strategically arrange myself to be on the other side of this goblin, and I will bash him with my shield, shoving him off the cliff face.
Sure.
He must die.
This is the shove thing. When we talked about that before, it's athletics, right?
Correct.
It's contested.
It is contested. 10.
You're probably winning. Yeah, you're winning. With his 5. As you... And as he steps back, as he gets pushed back, he scrambles, he tries to catch on to your shield that you're actually pushing into him with, and he tries to grab hold of it, tries to catch the edge, and he's lost. And you peer down for a moment, and as you're doing so, you also are looking around, and there's no sight of Guldar. Or Frost, for that matter. Make a perception check.
Okay. Dead.
There's no sight of either of them.
Fantastic. Okay, time to turn back around and address other goblin problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you wanna move over there toward the? You haven't used any movement in a while.
No, I will walk over to window and be ready to stab if he pokes head out.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And he shall... Ooh. Good thing that Nat 20 was only on his stealth check. But it does mean that you don't hear him skittering on the staircase that is within this tower as he repositions himself to a different one of these windows, leaning out the side of it now, but being able to see up at you that is standing on top and loosing another arrow at you. Ooh, good thing he can try that again. Oh, he got a 3 and a 1. Nope. It's a bad angle as he tries to pull his elbow back. He hits that stone windowsill, and you hear him cursing down there as the arrow goes wide and flies, sails past you, and then eventually arcs and comes back down.
Okay. I will approach the window where I see this goblin, or where he just was, and can I see inside? Do I see him?
That one would be difficult for you to. Basically, you poked the head out of one that's like on the side of this fire, but there are others that you can dip your head into, and you can jump in if you want. And as you do so, you see him skittering to reposition. Basically, there's a staircase in here, and it's quite difficult. He's basically climbing up it almost like a ladder at this point because of the angle of the spire, but he's trying to reposition at as you look down. Yeah.
Okay. How close is he to me?
If you drop in there, you can get to him. It's not like he's within arm's reach right now. You can get to him.
Okay, I get within 15 feet.
Okay.
And then I put sword away, and I lash him with lightning and pull him to me.
Okay. And he makes strength save throw, right?
DC
Ooh.
12 strength save.
And he's going to make it with an 18, actually.
Okay, very strong goblin somehow.
He is not, well, these goblins, they're just as common knowledge of anyone living in Eberron. Goblins in Eberron are not goblins of the Forgotten Realms. They're not cringing little creatures hiding in caves. They had a society. They have been warriors. Not every goblin is like this incredible. I mean, they are physically super strong, but
this is what I alluded to. They're not very large.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose I wait until next chance.
Okay. He, at this point, abandons the bow and rushes at you. At least this one has a short sword, unlike the other. And he will come at you crying with a 16. Your AC is ridiculous. Redonkulous. I need to get wizards at you. As he flubs it. He takes the disengage action as his bonus action, however, and tries to get past you, jumping back onto that window and trying to get on the outside of the tower once more to make an escape. I'd say he was 15 feet away when he approached you, so he couldn't have made it very far. He's about 15 feet on the other side of you now. He's climbed up through that window and is now waiting on top of that tower.
Okay. Can I see him through window?
You can if you poke your head up, yeah.
Okay, I poke head out, and then I pull him through window with lightning lure and pull him back to me.
This time successfully, as you yank him forward. What's the damage on this one?
8.
8? He's shaking as you pull him closer with this whip of energy, and by the time that you get him to you, he is kind of a little twitchy, but that's all.
Okay. Now I split head open like melon.
Just for the fun of it?
Yes.
And so you do. How do you do that?
Well, I just take sword and right on dome, right on top. Satisfying. Okay. Now, I go out and look for a friend.
And you can make your way. You climb back out. You take a look, trying to peer out, and you can hear the wind that is funneled by this chasm, essentially, and it's kind of whipping around you. And you're looking and looking. Make another perception check for me.
21.
You see fallen ruins. You see stone. You see jagged. In one area, you actually see what looks like jagged glass, quite a bit of it, and large too. Not just broken windows or something, but some old formation of glass that has collapsed here. Who knows how long ago. You see the body of the goblin you hurled over the edge at the bottom, kind of folded between two different bits of rock and stone. You do not see Frostrain. You do not see Ghoul.
Okay. Sharn, this is not good. Ugh. I have not much to go on, to be honest. I need to find Guldar and break his head open like melon. But,
Wind blowing past you is the only response.
okay. I guess for now, It won't be difficult to find me, but I will also seek out him. So I will head back to home.
You begin the trek, making your way down the tower, trying to remember your best. It's difficult to. In fact, go ahead, give me a wisdom saving throw to see how well you can remember the path that Frost took you on.
I have perfect recall.
Keen mind feat. Get the hell out of here, Caleb. Nobody likes you, Caleb. What do we got? Ooh, natural 20. Yeah, absolutely. It's a series. The best you have is landmarks, but that's tough because so much of it looks like just wasteland and broken nonsense. And periodically, you can see sort of openings, holes that lead who knows where, but further below, and not something you're interested in trying at the moment. But you are able to find some of the things that you recall kind of leaping from here to there behind her. And you make your path roughly back to the edge of the sheer cliff leading upwards. And you find the first handhold as you begin to make your way back up. It is, as I said, quite slow going. Perhaps even more difficult on the way up than the way down. But you are able to do so, having been shown the path. This is something that, if someone didn't know this route, you would never be able to spy this series of handholds without knowing it. And it has been curated a little bit by Frost, as she has done this a few times. So some of these footholds have been kicked in a few times to make them a little bit better. It is slow going, but eventually you reach the top, and as you are nearing the top, you pull that first hand up and pull yourself up. Go ahead and make a perception check for me again.
Very good. 9.
A 9 means that you don't see it at first, but you can smell it. Smooth. Fills your nostrils as you reach the top. And in the distance, you can hear shouting.
Okay.
You rush forward, making your way back inland, back through the Stoneyard. At this point, as you get closer, the towers, many of these buildings are blocking your view, but eventually you turn the corner and you can see a column of smoke pouring upwards and escaping further towards the middle ward. And you can hear the voices getting louder as you see the flames billowing from a spire as you come out into this courtyard. You are not terribly surprised to find your home ablaze as you return.
This is not good. Okay. I need to see how bad is the fire? Can I salvage anything? Is it still burning?
It's still burning. It's still burning. You can see that some are. You can hear a few men crying, "Find the well! Bring water!" And they're trying to establish a sort of a bucket line to fight this. The response is chaotic. It's not terribly organized. You know that there is. You know that eventually someone is going to arrive, to get rid of this with magics, but you don't know if anything in your apartment's going to make it that long. It's bad.
Okay. I look at this. Is there any possibility of me salvaging it? Can anybody enter such a conflagration?
It would be dangerous, but you can try.
Okay, I make the attempts.
Okay. Pushing past several of the people scurrying about in this courtyard, one of them calls out to you, "What are you doing? It's madness!" As you push past, dive through, there's the first thing is a blast of this smoke that is just billowing up. That just hits you in the face as you rush through the doorway. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
15.
You're able to wisely, before you enter, you kind of lean down just as you're beginning to feel the heat. You lean down, take as deep a breath as you can, and duck low as you enter this doorway. The smoke blasts across your face, but you don't inhale it as you push forward. It's difficult to see, and there is ash kind of peppering the air, being gusted outwards as it escapes, but you make your way through the short initial corridor that leads to your own chamber, and as you there is a doorway. Your door is there, and it is closed. You can feel heat from the other side of it. You can see smoke pouring under it. You bust across it. Go ahead, give me an athletics check.
Okay. Yes, I bust into my own room. 24.
24. Yeah, you knock the door down successfully. It shatters, but immediately, I don't remember physically how this happens, but I believe that this is real. The air pressure changed. You kick the door in, and then it immediately blasts back out. And once more, heat washes over you. You take 3 points of fire damage, and make another Constitution saving throw for me.
23.
You're fine. It hurts, and you can feel some of the thick hair on your forearm singeing, and you kind of beat it out real quick, then barrel in. Everything is ablaze. The area that it has not successfully fully caught is the floor itself. The walls are on fire. Everything else, the cabinets, your bed, it's alight. Smoke is just gathering up, but you bend low and you search for what I assume you're searching for is your chest.
I search for my chest.
And as you get closer, your heart sinks a little. You can see the floorboards have been pulled up, the dirt thrown aside. The chest is missing. Small comfort as you see the corpse of a goblin. Perhaps the wards that you paid to have placed on them were not entirely ineffective. But the chest is gone.
Well, I must leave. I do not want to burn to death, and I've lost my most prized and important possession that means the world to me, but okay.
It is disastrous. As you make your way back out, give me one last saving throw. Constitution.
Okay. Constitution, one more time.
And indeed, as the cumulative time you've spent here, that breath you took could not last you the whole way, and you were forced to gasp in some of the smoke, and it fills your lungs, and as you take. Wait, actually, I had a note. What are you supposed to be taking here? Ah, there it is. Yeah, we're good. Another 2 points of fire damage, smoke damage, smoke inhalation damage.
Yes, this is new. This is the new product. I will use smoke inhalation spells. I will be smoke sorcerer.
Yeah. Of whatever damage type that you deem appropriate for that situation.
Okay.
As you burst back out, coughing. And again, a man says, "What were you thinking?" As now water is being tossed, perhaps somewhat futilely, trying to put the blaze out. And there is a crowd. There are people watching, some of which live in that same spire that have been forced to evacuate. As they fear the fire may spread. You know that ultimately there are magics that make it such that a fire cannot consume this entire city. It will eventually reach a limit. Any spire kind of eventually, periodically at the ward tops, there are protections that will stop its infinite spread. However, as you look across this crowd, most of which looking upwards, gazing at the flames, one person is not looking at the flames, but is instead staring at you. And it is no shifter, a halfling woman. Her arms folded, looks right at you. And she kind of nods as she approaches, says, "Well, what do you think? Was it worth it?"
You know, probably not. You do favor for friend. Everything burns down.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, your pal, I guess she was right. Dask did want those shards. They just didn't want to pay for them.
That does seem to be the case, but I feel that in many ways they will pay.
Mm-hmm. Got some fight still left in you, I see, huh?
I am nothing if not fight.
Well, I can tell you that Dask aren't the only ones who want those shards. And I can tell you that if you've got fight left in you, you'd better do it in the service of my employer, the one who is actually supposed to be acquiring those shards, the one that you stole them from, if indirectly.
Okay, I hear you out. I listen.
Come with me then. And she'll turn around and begin to leave. You see, by the way, that she is wearing sort of somewhat jagged sleeved olive tone, simple cloth, leather straps across. She has a dagger at her belt and a bow across her back. She is completely comfortable turning her back on you, and she is a confident young halfling. Make a perception check.
Good.
12. Not quite. Not quite, I'm afraid. As she makes her way ahead, what you do notice with a 12 is something just on the outskirts of the street as she takes you that seems to also be following and ignoring the flames behind. Another rat scurrying up the street. And then you look down a little bit and another one following along the gutter. And they stop at each stool, at each step to the doorways, kind of take a glance at you, look back down the street, and continue up. One of them gets ahead of the both of you. One begins to lag behind, and they continue to follow. Meanwhile, this halfling looks at you and says, well, I know that down at the stone towers, they like to call you, what is it? Ironhide, I think?
Sure, they call me many names.
Hmm. Well, if it's any comfort, I've made a little coin off you before. Lost some, too. You got a real name?
I am Voka. You may call me Voka.
Voka. I'm Zay. Now come with me. And she takes you up. It's a lengthy journey, but she is ultimately leading you to... It would actually be quite a long journey. One of the longest that is possible in Sharn, unfortunately. As she has to take you through, across the bridge from North Edge, back into Tavok's Landing, and then follow to Dura, and then start bringing you up. And she takes you not just to the middle, but to the upper wards. And you are entering into... Now, the upper ward is the wealthiest ward. However, Dura is the poorest district. So entering upper Dura is like entering into a modest kind of middle class kind of area. If you'd like, you can make a history check just generally for this ward quarter combo. 15. You know that the that upper Dura has probably for you the most relevant thing that you're familiar with here is the Clifftop Adventurers Guild, a place that you may have done some work for before in the past. Or at least you know that it is an option. Perhaps you didn't need to. Perhaps if you were in the market for mercenary work, you would instead get in touch with your contact at House Deniet, one of your old friends there. But you are aware that by contract work is available here in Clifftop. But you are not taken. You are not taken to Clifftop. You were taken past the Redstone Market, past Hope's Peak, where there are many temples and religious sites, and into Highwater, a residential district in Upper Dura, and led to a reasonably wealthy manse. I wouldn't call it a mansion, but this is no mere narrow spire. This and the upper wards do tend to have their own platforms to give a level ground. So this is a building of a house of more traditional shape, perhaps about 3 stories high. And the halfling gestures. This is where my employer lives. Now we're only bringing you in here at night. In the day, you should probably meet with me instead. Be on your best with her. She brooks no nonsense. She has the power to do much in this city. She'll lead you inside, but we'll pick up from there. All right.
No, it's fine. I only lose everything I ever had and care for in the world, you know. I lose a friend, I lose inheritance, I lose book, I get burned. I lose all spell slots.
Hey, you
I
got
can't
like
recover.
hey, you got like 30 gold earlier.
Yeah, no, 30 gold. Very good.
Yeah. Sorry, man. This is only the beginning of your adventure.
Oh, of course, of course. Things going so great.
Yeah, it's a rough one. All right. Well, that is good for now. I'm going to go ahead and drop the stream. Thanks again to all who came by. We actually did have a few follows as well throughout the stream. So thank you to everybody who dropped a follow. And we will see you all on YouTube. Don't forget, Eberron the Fifth Age is streamed live on Twitch, twitch.tv/gamingmandroid, every Sunday at 5:30, and next weekend, Saturday as well. So, that's it for now.